That's exactly right. So, all right, everybody, we want to welcome you back to another edition of the show here at Fish North Georgia on this Tuesday night. I hope everybody is doing well that joins us. We got a pretty interesting show tonight. I posed a question or a few questions on Facebook today about, who is the best in your mind on certain lakes and stuff like that, and whether it be big boat guys, whether it be the electric only guys and their lakes and the kayak guys, and got a lot of interesting answers today. And hope everybody will listen to some of the names that we're going to call out tonight. And also make sure you add your own, definitely in the comment section. Make sure you add your own comments there when we get this conversation going. And as always, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to, if you're watching on Facebook, to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and enter your name so we can address you as such. And again, want to welcome you that. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, thank you. And make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe and click that notification bell so that anytime we drop any new content, you will know about it. And make sure you follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Are we doing anything else? Is that about all we do? Sound about right?
Those are the ones.
That sounds about right. So got a lot of good stuff, good conversation we're getting ready to have. And again, so I hope you are ready to talk who are the GOATs right now. And again, we can also talk the lakes too. What are the best lakes, stuff like that you guys love. And even you can talk while we're on lakes, what you hate. So that's fine too. As always, this episode is brought to you by State Farm and the Cassidy Agency. Guys, home auto, it does not matter. They do it all, as well as our personal articles. You hear me talking about it over and over again. Guys, want to make sure we're getting ready to get into some prime fishing time, but also we're getting ready to get a bunch of people on the lakes. All right. So, you never know what might happen. Theft, stuff like that. Want to make sure you're covered. Your rods, all your equipment, all your sonar, stuff like that. So we want you to call our friends Chase Epley at 678-779-7269 right there. You can get him at chase@CassidySF.com. And again, tell him Fish North Georgia sent you, and we want to make sure you take care of those things like that. Do not get caught without the proper coverage on this stuff. So tonight, Blake is in the house. How you doing, Blake?
Doing good.
Mr. Turkey Killer. Got him a turkey this past weekend.
Very sick of this pollen already. It hit me today.
It is rough.
Oh, man, it hit me like a freight train.
It is rough. Well, you look like you've been hit by a freight train. And over here, I'm just kidding. I love you. I'm just playing with you.
Don't matter what you say. I'm still going to look better than you.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I
just remember.
That's fine. Okay, I'll remember that.
You're taller.
You are tall. No, I don't know that he is. That's why his hair's pushed up.
Listen, I'm not as round as you.
You're not.
I'm
yet
taller than you. Yet. Yeah, we can go ahead and say that. All that bush lights. I need to quit that.
You do. We all need to. So, Blake is in the house, and of course he's got his opinions. And Josh being in town, we got Josh back behind the screen tonight, so that allows Paul to come out and play. And so Paul is here, and he's going to discuss, give us some ideas. Hey, give us some ideas.
You made fun of me for the hey.
Yeah. Oh, did
hey.
There it is.
And so Paul's going to join in on the discussion. I'm going to tell you before we get into it a couple of things about the discussion. Lanier guys were very heavy in their opinions, which of course we expected. Had good turnout from the electric only guys. You kayak guys were missing a little bit. So I hope you kayak guys will chime in tonight. Or either you guys are real polite and you're afraid you might hurt somebody's feelings, and that's okay. This is not an exhaustive list. It's just, we want to make sure that we recognize some of these people. And I'll tell you what this was put on my mind to do this was these county newspapers now do the best of the best in Dawson and Forsyth. You've seen them like that. Yeah. It's a big popularity contest. I mean, because I've seen some things, people win some things. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but it is what it is. So, but I was just curious as I was seeing all this stuff. I wonder what people would say if I asked them who is the best of the best on Lake Lanier, Blue Ridge, Carter's, Latham, electric only reservoir, stuff like that. Who's the best kayaker? Who's the best guide? So, guys, feel free. Definitely in the comments to place your opinions. We want to do that for sure. Here in about 5 minutes, we're going to pipe in Taylor Smith. And is that the proper word, pipe in?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds official.
Okay, well, official. We're going to pipe in Taylor Smith and Patricia Payton from the Electric Elite. And I'm going to let these two yahoos give them a good interview, do an interview for once. And so, hey, Paul, you already got a kayak guys just don't like anyone else. That's why we are in a one-person boat. John, that's very good.
Yeah, that's about
That's
accurate.
very good. And honestly, I only know a few folks and not well enough to call them hammers, though Paul is pretty decent. So you're not quite a hammer, but you're almost hammer.
He wins tournaments.
He wins tournaments. So that's good. Though. Hello to all you guys like that. Paul is looking sharp tonight. He walked
Thanks,
in.
Tatum.
Yeah, he walked in and we were like, whoa, so he dressed up, but anyway, he does.
Y'all just
good.
can't see his receding hairline.
Yeah, they can.
Wow.
Not that bad. You can't see it on camera.
Look at that. He is on you tonight.
Cut to 3 so they can see it.
Cut to 3.
Cut to 3. There you go. Look at that.
It's a little.
Look at that. It doesn't matter.
Not as good as it once was.
It doesn't matter. Hey, listen, you want a receding hairline? Look at this thing. That thing's going. So it's okay. We're all amongst families here. Casey, Bill Payne on Alatoona and Carter's, hands down, in my opinion.
Over Louis?
Well, hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let's just say there was quite a few votes for Mr. Bill Payne today, and the way I took votes was this: it was nothing official. I didn't want to put it out there too much because I know some people don't want to mention other people's names. It might hurt their best friend's feeling and stuff. So a lot of people sent me text messages. They sent me messages over Facebook, stuff like that. So, but I will say that bald guys rock right there. Absolutely, they do. So, I will say Bill Payne's name will be talked about tonight, so it's going to be pretty interesting. But here in a few minutes, like I said, we're going to have them in. Couple of notes. Number one, the Chris Taylor was running a tournament. Was it the Miracle for Kids? What was the name of that tournament? You know which one I'm talking about?
Miracle for Micah?
No. That one's coming up.
The other one.
Yeah, good grief.
It's in the banners, Josh. I think
it's in the banners. And I forgot, and Chris is probably going, way to go, Danny. But regardless, when he finds this thing, the tournament that they were doing
it's a little further down
is now going to be. You see it? Not Miracle for Micah.
One more.
Nope. That's not.
Why we get cheese curds?
We're going through all the things. That's it. Make a Wish. I knew it. Make a Wish Foundation. I'm terrible. The Make a Wish Foundation. But anyway, that tournament is being rescheduled from a couple weeks from now all the way. It's going to be a night tournament reposted sometime at the end of summer, I think, like that. So it's going to be a night tournament. There were so many BFLs and Skeeters were going this weekend, and 6 other tournaments like that. So a lot of stuff going on.
I don't like the thoughts of a benefit tournament banning not, but yeah, if you want to fish it, and I ain't got nothing going on.
Well, that's just well, there you go. Y'all can do that. So
Team Fish North Georgia,
Team Fish North Georgia, right on it.
We're gonna team up for some night tournaments this year.
Yeah, we can do that. So anyway, guys, I apologize, Chris. I have been busy and I was writing down all these names and all that for people we're going to talk about, mention tonight, and I forgot to write it down. I didn't forget to mention it. So there you go. So we got that. So in just a second, we're going to pipe them in. How's your day been?
Mine?
Yeah, how's your day been?
Just another day.
Just another day. Did you think about any of these questions today?
Nope, because I just come to roll with it.
You just come to roll with it, whatever's going? How about you?
A little bit.
You did?
I thought, man, he always has the good, like, argumentative ones when I'm
behind
pushing buttons.
And now you get to be.
And so I didn't think about it too much, and now I'm out here and I'm gonna look like a deer in headlights.
No,
I'm just interested to see who gets mad.
Well, maybe nobody will get mad. Maybe nobody will.
I don't want people to get mad.
I don't want them to get mad, but
maybe I do.
Maybe you do. So there we go. All right, so that's it. So we can go ahead right now. Let's just do this so that we can get into the comments later on. I want to bring in Taylor Smith and Patricia Payton. There you guys are. How you guys doing tonight? Good. Yeah, I'm glad to see you guys. I'm gonna let them guys do the interview here in a second, but I want to go ahead and tell everybody they fished with the Electric Elites, and they won our last tournament 2 Saturdays ago down at Hard Labor Creek Reservoir. I know it's been a long day, and in a pretty hefty bag, good dominating fashion, and they are way up there amongst some of the better teams in the Elite. So going to give them their due, and they deserve every bit of the credit. So I'm going to let you guys take it from here, and you're going to start it off, Blake.
Yeah.
You good?
All guys, right. I appreciate y'all being able to join in tonight. I know the conditions were kind of rough on Hard Labor. I know there's a lot of wind, some dirty water. Can you go ahead and start off by breaking down how y'all decided to fish the lake for that day? I heard there was a few spawning fish, but it was kind of hard to see them with the wind and the weather being the way it was. So when y'all pulled up to the lake and y'all noticed that those conditions were going on, what did y'all start off by breaking down the lake to figure out to get such a good pattern and such a good sack?
I mean, it really started way before that. We pre-fished three days. We pre-fished 2 Saturdays and the final Sunday. And we tried everything from start to finish, shallow to deep. We caught bedding fish. We caught fish on methylate trick worm. We caught them on a rig. It was just a cluster. I mean, just all over. But at the end of the day, all three times that we pre-fished, we had 10 or 11 pounds.
Yeah, we never got on any big fish.
No, never even seen any big fish on bed. It was all bucks. I mean, heck, there was one time pre-fishing that we went in the back of 3 different pockets, and I could see fish on Panoptics in like 3 to 5 foot of water. That I was like, that's crappie. I was like, the heck with these bass. Let's catch some crappie. And we started throwing at them. It was just like bass every cast, and it was just these giant balls of buck bass that were anywhere from 9 inches to 2 pounds. So
now, did the patterns that y'all found during pre-fish, did any of those turn over to be able to work during the actual tournament for you?
only one, the only pattern that we had, and our goal was to go there first, and then we kind of flip-flopped. I went back and forth all week long. She had to put up with it because I was like, let's go here. Like, no, we're going to go to the back of this pocket. No, we're going to start on Main Lake. And the only thing we had that was a pattern was one spot on Main Lake, which honestly I believe was a shad spawn. I know people are going to think I'm crazy for that, but I swear it was a shad spawn, an early shad spawn going on. And that was the only fish that we could guarantee that we could catch that would give us a limit, probably around 8 to 12 pounds.
Okay.
So pre-fishing was garbage, and we knew tournament day was, I thought, well, bedfish are going to pretty much cross that off the list. Heck, we don't have anything as far as, we had tons of fish on bed, but it was all bugs, And
so y'all didn't win it. Y'all didn't win it from the bedfish?
Heck,
No. Okay.
Not a single one.
No.
Okay.
No.
So, so I guess Blake asked my first question, which was, how did your game plan compare to kind of game day? Kind of what's your go-to move in those windy conditions? You just try to stay the course, or did you have to call an audible? Or
we didn't really have a course. I mean, really, we kind of developed our plan that day as we went along. We just lucked up on what we lucked up on.
No. Would you guys say that that's kind of typical, or would you much rather have something kind of hard to work with?
We always, for the most part, we always have a plan. We know where we're going for the most part. We know what we want to do. And this was a total 360 from that. We figured it out that day. So
yeah, we typically when we go into a tournament, we've got a pattern. And when we break down a pattern, it's like not just the fish are biting this bait. It's like the color, the location, whether it's wind blown or not wind blown, what the bottom's like, what's on the bank. The pattern is like 10 different variables that we try to put together. And I hate springtime. I literally hate springtime fishing. I hate bed fishing. I don't like it because it's just dumb luck 90% of the time. I want the fish to be on one deal and one deal only in one location, and that's not what I guess it is, but we didn't figure it out prior to the tournament. Going into the tournament, we did have a plan, and it was to run to the back of this pocket that we had not fished in practice whatsoever, and then come back out the Main Lake. It was to go back to the back of that pocket and try to catch 1 or 2 good fish, 3 to 4 pounders, and then run back out. Because we knew there was going to be 3 or 4 boats that went in that pocket. And I said, we'll fish it first. I don't think anybody really knows about our little Main Lake spot. It wasn't nothing fancy, but it was a limit of fish at least. So I said, we'll run to the back, we'll come back out, and hopefully we have a 3 and a 4 pounder or 1 4 pounder or something. And we go to run in the pocket, and I look around, there's literally not a boat in sight. Like, nobody went in that pocket. And I was like, all right, well, let's just stop on Main Lake since nobody's going in there. Stop there. So we
strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. So we stopped on Main Lake, and I caught one in like 34 foot of water on an A-rig. on Panoptics, and then we moved up a little bit more, and I think she caught a pretty good one. I think you caught 3 on Main Lake. I ended up catching 2. One of mine was over 3, one of hers over 3, and then she had one over 2. And I was like, well, there's a fair limit, better than what we had previously. So now let's go to the back of this pocket, and that's when it all kind of started breaking down. We figured it out.
Yeah.
So how do you I've never been on hard labor. How do you guys like it? Have you been there before? Have you fished it a lot? What kind of lake do you find it to be?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. All 3 practices were, I hate this lake.
Yeah. Literally, we normally practice till like 2, maybe 3 o'clock. We stay 2 days in a row till 5:30.
Yeah. Dang.
Just trying to figure something
Wire to
out.
wire.
I love it and hate it at the same time. I mean, Dusty and I, we won the TEC, this past year on hard labor. The first day of our classic for extreme John boat anglers, me and her had 24.5 pounds, and I caught my PB, which is 11.15. So,
it's a good lake.
That's a good fish.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's tough too, man.
Yeah. Well, it's so when you get a big one like that, it's tough to top,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, you're always going to have a soft spot for that lake where you got it too.
Oh yeah.
So how are you guys doing in the elites overall? I know I don't follow it super close. I know you
really?
did
You don't follow it super close?
Not super
Okay,
close. I know you guys you killed it on Rocky.
Yeah.
You killed it. Obviously, you killed it on hard labor.
Very, 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 very consistently good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we're tied for first. We're in a 3-way tie for first right now. We came up from a 2-way tie for third.
Yeah.
Yeah, with our win at hard labor in a 3-way tie for first.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing we got going on. The competition is really good at the top.
How are you enjoying the series? You liking it?
The series?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I like it to be as competitive as possible, and I mean, I think I told Chris earlier, like we were just talking about John boat fishing or electric fishing in general, and the elites or other tournaments, and we fished. I mean, I actually ran a club on a small lake for 2 years, and then moved to extreme and fished it for 2 years, and now the elites. And I've only been tournament fishing for, I guess, 4 years now. So, yeah, I mean, the only way to be the best is to beat the best. I mean, that's
right.
That's really the only way it is. So if you're not fishing against the best guys in the state, then you can't consider yourself to be the best or whatever.
Be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's right, and I think you guys are representing our club extremely well right now. And so I'm gonna get the last question. What are we gonna do at Hickory Log coming up? What are we doing? Are they gonna be bed fish? I know you said you didn't like it, but they'll probably be on bed right in the middle of that. And what do you think?
He doesn't like it because he wants to be 40 foot deep. That's fine.
Oh, okay, so now we got the secret. So he likes to fish deep. All right. So how about you, Patricia? You like to shallow or deep?
I think my preference has changed some. I was definitely shallow, 100%. But I've gotten to where I really like the fishing the deep. So I can do both.
That was pre.
Yeah, that was pre-Panoptics.
I understand. I totally understand. And that can change your mind right there.
Yeah. I think, I guess to finish kind of both questions from before, what changed when we did decide to go in the pocket, like 2 other boats came by during the day and were like going that way. And I was like, oh no, that morning while we were still fishing Main Lake. And finally she was like, look, if you want to go in that pocket, we need to go now. And I was like, all right, let's go. So we finally went back there, and it was bait. I mean, like I said, I really think there was like a super early shad spawn going on, and we rode through. We fished all around the bait in the back of this pocket, and turned around. We're coming back out, and Chris and Aaron were sitting there, and we talked to them, and they said, well, we've got 2 fish, and we had 5 at that point. And we went right past them, and I ended up catching one more right over 3. And they just start. Chris and Aaron were just throwing fish in the boat. I mean, literally, it was like every cast there was just fish flying in the boat, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" Like we seen fish on Panoptics, we seen a ton of bait on Panoptics, but they weren't biting anything. So
right.
She hit me with she was like, "I told you I wasn't ready to go yet." And so
like she knew better.
Yeah. We went around the left side. I was like, "Chris, we're going to fish over here." We marched the fish here. And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine." We were probably 50, 60 yards from them. And we pulled up in this one narrow section, literally from the dirt bank into standing brush that was probably 8 or 10 foot out of the water. From the bank to that brush was probably, I don't know, 50, 60 foot, maybe if that. And the brush was about 10 foot and then just went straight to dirt bank. The wind was blowing that way, and the bait had kind of been all out in the back of that pocket. Well, it muddied up that bank line, and it blew all the bait into that muddy water, and they were basically using the muddy water for cover. And
right.
what did we have on the deck of the boat? 18 rods. We had 18 rods on the deck of the boat and 2 in the rod locker. I mean, literally, you couldn't even walk on the boat because there was so much stuff everywhere. We had no idea. And I reached down and pulled out a jerk bait, and first cast with a jerk bait, I caught the biggest one, which was right at 5 pounds, and it had that jerk bait sideways in its mouth, 6 cents per boat. And after that, it was just game over. I mean, it was sickening throwing 3-pounder after 3-pounder after 3-pounder back. She's like, "It's a big one. It's a big one." I was like, "Yeah, that's going to help." We pick it 302. Nope, it's not going to help. Throw it back.
That's not a bad problem to have.
Not at all.
Yeah, right.
Now, I don't expect that to be repeated at Hickory Log, just knowing the differences in the lakes. But if you pull that off at Hickory Log, you've done something right. So I want to say this, both of you guys, from me as one of the guys that are running the elites, I want to thank both of you guys for not only taking a step out and joining us this year in our inaugural year, but you also are representing everybody very well. And you've got a few sponsors. Before I let you go, I want you to give them a shout out. I want to give you your time for your sponsors.
Yeah, so definitely Elko is one of our huge sponsors this year. Tim's Bait and Tackle in Temple. We've got Long Hauling LLC, Wendy Long Realty.
TH Marine.
Yeah.
And then High Definition Signs in Carrollton. They did all the stuff on the boat. Spent a lot of work getting all the logos and everything on there.
And then our newest one
Foster
is Chattahoochee Jigs.
Yeah. Chattahoochee Jigs. Yep, that's a good jig company right there. So, all right. Well, I tell you what, guys. Listen, I want to thank you for coming on. I apologize for not getting you on here sooner. I'm glad I was able to give you some airtime. You guys have been whipping everybody's butts, and we appreciate what you guys do and what you represent, and look forward to trying to beat you here in a couple of weeks on Hickory Log.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Sounds good, man.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.
Take care.
All right. So listen, that interview is actually pretty good timing because, it plays into the kind of the theme tonight, who's the best of the best right now currently. And I mean, in the electric only world right now, that team right there is one of the best teams. The names, those names have been brought up several times a day. So again, want to thank them, but ready to get into the conversation. So again, we're just going to start at some point. I'm going to pick a starting point with the lake, and we're just going to go. Seeing a lot of comments in there, and I've been kind of writing names down as they've been popped up if I don't have them already written down. So here's what I asked. Okay, who's the best angler on lakes like Lanier, Chattooga, Blue Ridge, Allatoona, Carter's, Notley? Shout out to Jonathan Farmer for taking me out to Notley yesterday and showing me the ropes there. Love the lake. He's a hell of a fisherman, so I appreciate it. And then, who's the best anglers in the electric only world? Stuff like that. So name us some of the smaller lakes and what their favorite lakes are. And then, of course, I asked for kayak guys to chime in. And they're a little bit quieter.
We're really nice to each other.
They're really nice to each other. And I will say this.
We're not catty or nothing.
They're not catty. The Lanier guys were the most vocal, which we kind of expected. Got a lot of different names from the Lanier guys.
Lanier heavy around here.
Lanier heavy. So with that being said, I'm going to start on another lake.
All right.
We'll get to you guys.
Just
Now-
start with Chattooga. and work
Let's
your way
start
down
with
to Intertape.
Chattooga. Yeah, we'll work our way down. Now, you guys know anything about Chattooga?
Yes.
I know Farmer and I know Kaz.
Yeah, Kaz is up there. What about you?
Dalton Tankersley.
Dalton Tankersley. He's one of them. Here's a name that, and it come up on several lakes. Trevor Prince and Alex Prince. And I believe Alex Prince is Trevor Prince's father. I believe that's it. I might have it backwards, and if I don't, but Trevor Prince and Alex Prince, Alex's name came up several times on several of these lakes. So undoubtedly, when your name starts popping up on multiple lakes,
You got it.
You've got something done. So that was some of the guys. There's one more. Heath Pack. I don't know if any of these guys are watching, but you can tell them how they got mentioned as some of the best. Right there, Heath Pack and Trevor Trave Price. So this is Chattooga. Now Chattooga is it's a spotted bass lake and largemouth, a little bit of both.
Highland Reservoir.
It's Highland Reservoir.
There's a lot of spots in it. There's some good spot fishing in it. I don't say that the spots are as big as what's in Lanier, but there is a really healthy largemouth population in there. A lot of big largemouth in there.
I think your average, your top end spots there are as big as anywhere, but your average fish is it's hard to contend with Lanier for
the average fish. Okay,
I say it's one of the best top water lakes in North Georgia.
Okay, all right. So Dalton Tankersley chimed in, Trevor and Alex again. So there you go. So the Princes, evidently, they have got it down on Lake Chattooga. So that's pretty cool. We will move down a lake to Notley, of course, like where I was at yesterday. And again, beautiful lake. Absolutely loved it. Amazing that lake can rise up so quick with the big rain. Again, you guys know anything about this one?
I've been there.
I know.
I've been there
a couple times. Super cool lake. Thank you, Jonathan Farmer, for coming and talking about it and just kind of opening my eyes. It's really neat.
Good largemouth population. Yeah. You can catch some spots too. And
I caught some hoss crappie up there.
Oh, listen, there's some nice crappie. I saw one yesterday. It was like, I told John, he called it, and I said, man, that's a taco right there.
Yeah,
that's a good. That's how I see everything. So, here are the names on Notley. Alex Prince. So that name came up again. So he was Chattooga and Notley right there. So he's got a little bit of domination going on that. Heath Pack, his name came up again. So evidently that's some good competition between those two guys up there. And Chris Graham.
Dalton Tankersley again.
And Dalton Tankersley again. Dalton Tankersley is going to be your
that
vet
guy hammers from Blue Ridge to Chattooga, even up into the North Carolina. I mean, he knows what he's doing on every lake. He's winning money on every lake.
He's a man of many talents too. I
mean, he's a trout guide, killing turkeys.
His hair goes forward though. His hair like he drove backwards.
Kid's like 22, living a dream. Fishes every day.
He is. He's got it.
We got to talk about hair, man.
He's got it. So we'll move down to Blue Ridge, and here's the thing: Blue Ridge guys are really secretive today.
Blue Ridge secretive because the lake it's getting super good.
Super good. Okay. All right. So only one name was brought up today in Blue Ridge, which surprised me.
Dalton Tankersley again.
Oh, well, you get Dalton. So
listen, that kid will go up there on Wednesday night and usually win about every one of them.
Okay. Well, there you go. So you added Dalton. Kevin Franklin. I'm not sure who Kevin Franklin is, but he got the lone vote for the best angler on Blue Ridge. So, and again, most of these guys that we're talking about, I'll see. Jacob Bernhardt for Blue Ridge. There you go.
Bernhardt's
so that's
a local guy.
He's another local guy. So again, I appreciate it right there, Jacob. Nominating Jacob. Whew, excuse me, I had to sneeze right there. Thank you very much. Sorry about that, guys. And but that's good. So I appreciate somebody chiming in on the comment right there. So that gives us at least 3 guys for Blue Ridge, which makes me feel a little bit better. Now we're getting down to Carter's, and I hear on Carter's was the first one that we actually got a vote for a guide. Okay, nobody really talked too much about guiding up there except for, let's see, I should say this, on Notley and Blue Ridge, yeah. Eric Chastain. I meant right there. I don't know.
Sounds very familiar. I think
he's a guide up there.
His boy, I think.
So Eric Chastain guides on Notley and Blue Ridge. I did get something that came from Jonathan.
I mean,
Palmer,
if we're bringing up guides, you might as well bring up backwoods. I mean, I know they're stripers,
and that's fine. That's absolutely.
Them.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing too. Not a lot of people from other species chimed in too much today. A lot of bass guys.
We got to get some outreach going.
We do. We got to do something with the striper guys. I know it. It's like we did talk to some crappie guys. and I'll bring them up here in a second. But no striper guys, except for a few comments that I know were kind of directed on Facebook to people that can catch everything.
I mean, I guess if you're just looking at stripers, your number one guys are going to be backwoods.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Absolutely. Yeah. Dalton Tankersley right here. When we get on Carter's Lake, it's Bill Payne, hands down. Got a lot of people that said Bill Payne.
Jacob Bernhardt, he don't fish a lot of tournaments, but he'll go up to Carter's and absolutely load the boat with them.
Wreck them.
Okay. Well, that's good. Got a vote for Scott Fowler and Heath Thomas. So if you know those guys, they've got some votes. Are those all local tournament fishermen or just no, these are pretty much they do fish tournaments, but a lot of these guys are local to that lake. That's their home lake, even though they fish tournaments. It's what I would say so far. Yeah. You know what we're going with. I know Bill Payne will go down to Allatoona and he will guide there, and occasionally he'll come over to Lanier and Blue Ridge, stuff like that. So Louis, let's see.
I said Louis as well.
You said Louis is you did.
Carter's?
Carter's? Okay. Who is Louis?
Louis Bartonfield?
Louis Bartonfield. I want to make sure his last name got
I mean, the floating fly is kind of his big
deal.
Yeah, I feel like that's where he kind of made his name, and I'm pretty sure he catches fish up there.
All right.
On the regular.
All right. And Jesse Millsap, thank you for watching tonight, boss, and chiming in. Carter's is Teddy and Charlie Childers. Don't know them. I would imagine they're locals probably. And on those lakes right there, now we're getting ready to get into the bigger lakes on the other, but when you get into those lakes, they're small. So the tournament trails and stuff like that, you don't have what you do like on Lanier, Allatoona.
I mean, you still get
some hammered,
boats.
But there are a lot more of the local guys that live up in that area as opposed to people traveling up there.
Lanier's the same way when it comes to locals, unless it's a BFL or something
like
that.
Nobody has to pull their boat over a mountain to get to Lanier, though.
Well, you know what?
Most people that are local to them local lakes ain't got to pull their boat. Those lakes are all up 515.
They are, and I didn't realize how close.
Yeah, the only mountain you're really pulling up is to get to Carter's because it's the boat ramps.
Derek White, you haven't missed nothing yet. We're actually getting ready to talk Allatoona, and then we will go to Lanier. Michael Geiger's Teddy Childers runs the Saturday Winter Trail. I guess that would be on Carter's. Okay, all right. So there you go.
The crazy thing is with those lakes going up 515. I mean, you could literally spend 3 hours on every lake in one day up there because they're that close together. Yeah. Especially when it comes to like Blue Ridge and Notley.
Yeah,
you can pull right out of Blue Ridge, go 10 minutes up the road. You're not.
I had no idea it was that close.
Yeah, I mean, they're all right
closer
there.
to 515.
Dude, 515 is literally
it's right
15 minutes this way.
For me, like I think about going up there, I got to go through Dahlonega.
Right.
There's the hill climb up and down. Otherwise, it's like an extra half-hour drive.
If you came back this way and went.
No, if I don't take the straight shot. Yeah.
Well, you're where? Gainesville, right?
He's incoming. You could go 369.
Yeah, 369 to 53 to 515 instead of going through Blue Ridge. Probably quicker for
you. We will get to him, Jeremiah. He is on the list, but not for Lake Allatoona. So let's get on Lake Allatoona. And this is where we get into some names. A lot more names that I have heard.
Barday.
Stephen Barday got a few votes. Let's put it that way.
Stephen Young, he's a young kid, my age, but he's good.
I did not get a vote for him today, but you're saying he's right up there.
He fishes a lot of the Monday and Wednesday nighters, a lot of the weekend trails over there. He's a real good angler. He's a real good
pollen's angler. Getting to me. I got that.
Oh, my eyes are so caked and bloodshot, like it ain't funny.
Like I've been drinking all night.
It's a lot of pollen down here.
It is a lot of pollen. Yeah, there we go. All right, so here's some more names that I got for Allatoona. Daniel Thurman and Danny Thurman. I assume that's a father's son.
They're good.
Have been on the lake forever. That's what I was told. Actually, I had somebody make a comment that if either the Thurmans or Barday showed up, odds are you were not going to get a check, or they were going to get the the big check. And again, and then I had a couple other names: Scott Anderson, Kelly Thompson. Those were names that popped up, and again, all bass guys. So when I said angler, everybody just automatically went with the bass. I'm sure there's some great striper guides on there. I mean, on Allatoona.
On tuna, it's first bite's kind of the.
I think the hybrids are good. What's good fishing on Allatoona. I don't think.
No, they've got striper. They got both.
But I think everybody goes for the hybrids.
Yeah, no, they got a really good population. I think they got a good population of white bass too.
White bass, okay.
Is Captain Robert Edson is first bite service. He's a big striper, kind of the big striper wheel on Allatoona.
I got you. See, Stephen Bardet, there are 15 to 20 boats in Allatoona that can win on any given day. And, buddy, I'm sure that is true. But certain names get brought up more often than others, and yours was one of them. Michael Geiger, Joe Croft. All right, that's a name I did not get. And like I said, we're sure that there's a bunch of them. But what's curious is even when I get on this Lanier crowd here in a second, certain names always rise to the top. They're on everybody's list.
The thing is, us being in North Georgia, you have so many of these highland reservoirs. A lot of the lakes fish the same. I mean, you could take people from Lanier for a weekend, put them on Chateau, they could beat the locals. You take them to Notley, Blue Ridge. The lakes, they fish the same. Highland reservoirs.
And vice versa. You could bring the Chateau guys down here.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if everybody's ready to deal with the size on Lanier and the traffic.
I mean, that's just one of the things. I mean,
daunting.
I mean, there's some of those lakes up there like Chateau. Chateau gets ramsacked during the summertime.
I can tell you what, Notley was nice yesterday. There might have been 4 boats on the lake.
The thing is, I mean, the TBA lakes, so they don't have the big battleships up there. Like
they ain't got the big cruisers and stuff like that. But
it's
I mean,
like even being on Oconee is super duper busy, but they have like a boat size limit.
Really?
So it's you don't get killed. Like,
really? Okay, I didn't know that. That's a topic for later on.
Yeah, but I feel like anybody on this list can go win anywhere they want to.
And that might be good. These are people these are all the names. I'm glad we got all these names going out because now we can, there's some strategic reasoning I did this list. Now I know who I can go after, get on interviews and stuff like that. So I say, hey, this is all for good right here. But again, in several of the votes, Bardet and the Thurmans got a lot of mentions. So I thought that was pretty good. I know there's some Lanier guys watching. I'm gonna make them hang on just a little bit longer. We're gonna jump into the electric.
You got to wait for LJ to come back.
Got to wait for LJ to come back because he wants to be involved in this. On the electric side, and this is I'm gonna get to comment on some of these. These are the names that I got from quite a few people. The electric people were easier to talk about it than most of them. So a lot of Southern guys in this list: Mike Driggers, Blake Yarder. You got David Rourke, if I pronounce that right. You have Charlie Dick. You have some Northern guys up here. I got Michael Geiger and Randy Moore. I got Taylor Smith that was on here earlier. Chris Gayton, of course. Aaron Cole. These are names that everybody in the electric world knows. What's pretty cool about this is it's very spread though. See, electric only is a little bit different. So while guys have their local lakes, these guys that I'm talking to today, they can fish good anywhere. And I believe Driggers won the first tournament of the year for the elites up on Rocky Mountain, and I don't think he'd ever seen it before. That was the first time being on the lake. Second tournament. Excuse me, the Lanier tournament.
You just erased the Lanier tournament.
I erased the Lanier tournament. It was awful. It was cold.
Tournament director don't even know what tournaments.
I'm not the tournament director. I am in charge of marketing and sponsors. That's Chris's job.
You're a big.
But that again, so these were guys, and one of the things
that's hard to believe, just going up to Rocky and doing
18 pounds. 18 something pounds right there. And if you take somebody like Taylor and Patricia this year, they've been consistent, and Michael Geiger and Randy Moore, and Blake Yarder and Charlie Dick. So those are elite guys that were in there. There's other names. I had somebody give me like some of the older guys that have come and gone. Jim and Ted Lee, Terry Lee, Britt Daniels, who's moved down south. He's a little bit out of our area now. Guys like Mike Meeson that are fishing big lakes. And stuff like that. So there was a lot of names. And here's some guys' names that got brought up on some of the other lakes down south because we didn't get a lot of people on Oconee and stuff that were jumping in like the Lanier guys. Grant Kelly, Kip Carter, Tony Couch, John Duvall, Aaron Batson. I've heard his name. I believe he guides. He might fish too, but I think he guides a little bit too.
Guy I fished with on Oconee, Al Bassett. I don't know if he still works. He's got game. Super fun guy to fish with.
Justin Kimmel, Michael Geiger put Mark Lozinski. I'm sure I murdered that, and I apologize. Is it how do you think? What do you think? How you say that?
Who?
I would go with Lozinski.
Lozinski.
Mike,
okay, I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Go phonetic, man.
Go phonetic. Let's see. So Michael Conley. So Michael Conley, I was told, just finished 4th in the Toyota series on Harris Chain 2 weeks ago. That's a down south angler. So that's what. So we have really got to get some of these guys and get to know them and be able to get them up here and start interviewing them like that. So names like that.
There's
let me get Blake Yarder said this, and I thought this was interesting because Blake just got popped as one of the best electric only guys. I noticed that Josh and I did not get a vote in this. You think you think at least one person would say Danny just to get on my good side, but I didn't get a single freaking vote. I don't understand why. I don't even think I voted for myself.
Maybe did y'all talk about Latham at all?
Well, I get whipped on Latham too. Now I'll go against anybody crappie fishing on Latham.
But the guy ain't loaded his boat up with crappie.
I ain't going, but I know where they're at right now. I know where they're at.
When we going? You've been promising me this since
Let's
I
wait
met
till
you.
Josh goes back out of town and we'll play hooky and go.
You play hooky all the time. You played hooky yesterday.
Yeah, I went fishing.
That's why you can't do it tomorrow.
That's right.
Wait a little bit. You gotta let it cool off.
Aaron Batson and Chip Carter on Oconee. Charles Ashley Shellnut chimed in right there. That's right. Danny Pruitt is a crappie catching stud. I appreciate you doing that, even though he knows I don't. I'm not a stud at anything. So, my brother-in-law Randall Carter is a hammer around Jackson, Juliet, High Falls area. So there you go. So Jonathan Farmer, I'll vote for you, Danny. That's just because you like me, and so I appreciate you guys. But where the hell was I going with that? I've totally lost.
You were in the electric world.
Yes,
and now you're still out there.
I want to read this real quick. Best all-around fisherman. This is Blake Yarder, and I hope you don't mind me saying this because he goes best all-around fisherman in my mind would be Tony Couch. But here's what he put: if he was 20 years younger, he'd be on TV. So it's an older generation guy that had gone through that knows it. And
if you want to talk best overall in the state, no matter where you go,
that's kind of where we can get to that.
You got to look at Micah Frazier. Fishes Bassmaster Elite Series. That guy can go up north. He's won tournaments up north catching smallmouth. He's won tournaments down here fishing for largemouth. He's from Noonan, Georgia. I think he's the best coming out of the state.
That's fair.
I mean,
that's plenty fair. That's kind of what
he's won more money than probably anybody else bass fishing in the state. And that might be wrong, but I mean, as of right now, winning all the bass tournaments and stuff, I think he's won 2 in the last 3 years, probably. Maybe, I think 2.
I like. Well, that's good. So that's kind of names that we were kind of wanting to get pulled out, and there's people that we need to learn all these other anglers in the state. Buddy Gross, Drew Benton. Yeah, and see that's and a lot of guys have gone by.
Buddy Gross from Chickamauga, Georgia, not Chickamauga Lake, but
Chickamauga, Georgia. Yep. Okay,
and he's won in Eufaula. He's won Chickamauga. Like Georgia's got a lot of top anglers that are starting to make their way into the bigger ranks. You look at the Pro Series tournaments. It's like when you hear guys coming from Florida, Alabama, Arkansas, and stuff like that. But the past couple of years, I feel like there's a lot of big names that have come out and hit the pro ranks coming out of Georgia.
That's all. Best overall in the state, according to Jesse Millsaps, which, Jesse, you did get some votes. I was getting ready to bring your name into the conversation. He says best overall is Kip Carter.
I don't know.
I don't know. Where's Kip Carter out of, Jesse? If you don't mind chiming back in. And I like Robert Woody's comment. Tom Mann has won a little money.
I've heard of him.
I think I've heard of him. He's pretty good.
Don't know who that is.
Tom Mann?
Didn't he invent the plastic worm?
Zoom? That was forever ago. I like your lures, though, buddy.
I like your lures.
We need to get some of them upstairs. Danny, get on that.
We're working.
Also, he invented the shallow running crankbait, man. Baby 1-, Baby 1X.
6 cents.
See,
no. Okay.
Here's what I listen. Danny does. No, I don't. I spend time talking to everybody, so my fishing skills are very worn down. Philip Hutchinson, I like this comment. Alex Green on here. There's not many other anglers who can catch trophy browns, magnum spots, and largemouths, giant stripers, and shoalies. There's one other guy that I know that might his name's getting ready to come up that is in that category, and I'm gonna bring him up. But that's pretty awesome. And Alex Green, I'm definitely gonna write that name down right here for future reference. So that's pretty good.
Alex, come on the show.
That's right. Tom, Jesse Millsat said Kip is near Oconee and Sinclair. Jesse would love it if we can kind of rig a way to get him up on the show somehow with you. It would be a really good show. Tom Mann created the jelly worms. Ed Chambers created Zoom. So there you go. So I like that. Still, not the same Tom, the one who fished Lanier. Okay, well then I don't know.
So man,
Man,
with
my
one
dad-
Y'all
hand
are throwing
versus
so many
two
names
hands.
out. I don't even know. I'm just whatever. Yeah, y'all say it, boys.
I thought there was only one Tom Man.
Tom Man. So there you go. It's still pretty awesome. So again, got some big names that are getting brought up here. So you
But
also
they're
need
a
a
package deal. You get the whole green team, obviously.
Oh, so you have to bring his wife on too. Okay, Jessica is just as good an angler.
They're both got game.
Oh, okay.
Both
All right.
of them.
There you go. Cool. Well, we might just have to do that. So the electric only guys are the only ones that actually voted on lakes, because there was a question, what's your favorite lake? And nobody else bothered to vote on the lakes, which I found a little interesting. Even the Lake Lanier guys, nobody said Lanier. Nobody said none of this other
So
stuff.
if you're talking your favorite Georgia lake,
Yeah, of course, that was one of the questions. So
well, that would be probably Chattooga for me, because I know it's got some big largemouth. But then, like I said, I think it's one of the best topwater lakes there is.
Okay, what's up, Georgia Bassmaster? How about you? What's your favorite lake?
Favorite lake? Lanier's always going to be home, just because that's
Right.
That's kind of my first.
But is it your favorite lake?
What lake?
Lanier.
Lanier.
But is it your favorite?
I don't know if it's my favorite. Like I like Latham a lot. Like Chattooga's been fun the times I've been there.
Right.
It's bad when I'm starting to hate Lanier. I just get sick of it.
We got somebody mentioned that we got to start looking at them. Hartwell, Chimagua.
It definitely ain't
Chickamauga. I
Hartwell
said
for me.
Chimagua. Chimagua. Listen, Chimagua.
Chickamauga isn't a Georgia lake.
But it's close enough.
Chickamauga.
I actually put this in lake. I put that up there because
Like
it's close
regional.
enough.
No.
It's close enough.
Well.
I consider it a North Georgia.
I'll tell you, I liked Hiwassee Lake.
Eufaula. Several for
It was
Eufaula.
beautiful.
Hiwassee.
Hiwassee Lake. I loved it up there.
Listen, they all. I would say probably Carter's is as pretty though as any lake if you just go
Yeah,
on
it
for
might
the
be
views.
pretty, but the fish
I like Lake Ackworth, says the man who caught a 50
Don't say
pound.
that too loud.
Yeah, a 50-pound cat. I don't know. Was it at Lake Ackworth that he caught the cat?
I don't know.
I don't remember. but
he's
he caught a
catching
50-pound cat on a chatterbait. So Clark's Hill right there. My favorite is Lake Weiss, but that's in Alabama. Close enough. I get it. I mean, if you're
Derek White, come to Lanier. Man, I'm 20 minutes from Lanier. I fish it all the time.
oh, well, you ain't been with him though.
Oh, that's the one who does all the big night fishing.
Yeah, you ain't been with
Yeah,
Derek.
if he was talking bed fishing, been there, done that, to do that all the time.
Gotcha. So I tell you, what's pretty cool though is on the electric only side, we got votes from, of course, Hard Labor. Hard Labor got them. Altoona. I like Altoona. Hard Labor got votes.
Some people about that
Latham did.
action, Blake. Not everybody needs to catch a giant fish.
That's right. Like that action.
Sometimes it's
Oh,
better
it's a
just-
big one. Oh, it ain't even 12 incher. Throw it back. Oh, it's another 12. Oh, it's a 12 incher. Oh my
Dude, it
God, it's a
feels-
2-pounder. We're in the money, boys.
That's it.
It
That's
feels
it.
good to go slam them, man.
No, it doesn't.
Well, okay. So there you go.
Something had gone wrong with you. You bumped that head too hard.
He
somewhere.
did somewhere.
I know one thing. It's light with all this paw in my eyes.
Blake,
It's killing me
Carter
tonight.
has some quality spots. You just got to know where they're hiding.
I know.
And the Savannah River is good. There you go. So it's pretty interesting. Now we're getting people, talking a little bit more. Did Latham get votes? Yeah, Latham got plenty of votes, but since I live across the street from it, I'm gonna tell you no. So Bear Creek,
Okay.
Bear Creek's a little different.
You know what's a hidden gem that like if you want to say Chickamauga's
Burn
in
the spot.
not Bernie Spot. Where?
Bernie spot. Oh,
Not
I thought you
Bernie.
said Bernie
Not
spot. I
Bernie
was like,
Spot.
what are you
No,
talking
not Bernie
about?
Spot.
No, a hidden gem is oh shit.
I don't know that lake. Where
What's
is that?
What's the lake that runs?
Best lakes in Georgia are Eufaula and Seminole, according to Ron Swinford. Not, hey, Eufaula's got a lot. A lot.
I was gonna say Eufaula.
Yeah,
I've never been there. Though.
Listen, we're gonna have to ban fishing days from ever saying Cedar Creek is amazing on this. That is the god awfulest lake in Georgia. That would get my lake. I would vote higher for Yahula than I would Cedar Creek. That lake is absolutely
At least it's Yahula's close. At least
Cedar Creek is awful. Seriously.
Mm.
You ever fished it?
Do I have an electric boat?
It's like on the tip of hell. It's always 180 degrees there for some reason, and you don't catch nothing there. See, it's terrible.
See, I had a buddy that sold me on it.
It's
He's like,
awful.
oh man, you go out there. You won't catch any bigs, but you'll have fun. Blah blah blah.
No.
I went out there and grounded out for some dinks and on like a Kitech at 3:00 in the afternoon. It was
Unless your
was
name
nothing.
is Aaron Bland. Now him and his partner have got that lake figured out. They can win every tournament there. So 12 pounds, but that's what's going to win it there. But it is
Altoona.
It is. Oh, listen, Alatoona is like trophy fishing compared to Cedar Creek. They ought to just actually drain that lake and start all over.
Drain it, put the pines in it, let the coons take it over, and let us boys
Let
run
us
them.
deer hunt it. There you go, something like that. Run your coon dogs and all that. So, Burton, you know what? I didn't get
why? Because Burton's a secret gym, and they don't want a lot of people on it.
Nobody.
Spot burn.
Burn it down. Go throw a big Huddleston.
The Okmulgee River system. Yeah, Cedar Creek in Gainesville, Josh Tatum. That's exactly the one I'm talking about. It's awful. And here's another thing too. Latham got votes. Rocky Mountain PFA got votes.
I can catch a fish over.
Huh?
I catch one.
Actually, Carter's Re-Reg got a few votes, and Hickory Log actually got a couple of votes. Whatever. Dinkery Log got a couple of votes.
What's the one? The Hickory Log's one in Canton, isn't it?
Yes, that's the one.
I thought that one was full of biggins.
It has some biggins. They're hard to catch. You got to go through 800 little ones.
Isn't there a trophy lake down in Canton too?
I don't know about that.
You can only fish certain
trophy
times?
lake at Rocky.
Rocky has that trophy lake.
I know Rocky does,
Yeah,
but I thought there was one in Canton.
I will just say this. So, I mean, and Juliet got a couple of votes down there. There was, interestingly, no votes for Varner. And Varner used to be a factory of big fish down there. Varner used to be a go-to lake. But Latham, I would say, probably got the most votes of any of the small lakes. Unfortunately, that has been the case in the past. I probably would have said that, but I think it's a little on a down cycle and it'll get going back up here shortly. So, but you'd rather you say Lanier though is your favorite just for the location.
I think it's home.
Okay.
That's just it's where the heart is, man.
Where the heart is.
I like to travel, man. I spend a lot of time on Lanier, but I love to get out on other lakes. I get sick and tired of fishing.
That's what was so cool about Notley yesterday.
It's
just
different.
not seeing it, never been on it.
Yeah, new scenery.
New scenery and watching somebody. And I'm going to go ahead and blow smoke up his butt. I've told you guys already, I've never seen anybody flip and skip docks like I saw yesterday from Jonathan Farmer. He could put whatever he wanted 42 foot up that dock in an 8-inch hole above the thing. I mean, seriously, you may be good. And if you're good and you're better than him, God, I will watch you do it I stopped fishing and watched him.
I'm just saying docks aren't 42 foot long, Danny. So I was like,
that's a country exaggeration. I didn't want to say a mile long, but I'll tell you this, listen, seriously, pontoon can be there. It didn't matter. Right up through there. And he would say,
don't you love that sound?
He did. And here's the thing too, that was pretty cool about it is he would go and say, a lot of people, he was kind of telling me, a lot of people do this. And Johnson's like, well, Danny, shut up. Don't say all this. But he was saying, a lot of people would do this, but I enjoyed watching him dissect a dock. I mean, he did it from all three sides.
You got to pick it, especially these floating docks. You got to pick them apart.
He did. And we would go through a row of docks and we'd come around and fish. And then he would go back and he would say, I'm going to catch the fish that I didn't get the first time. And he would pop another fish and we'd go back. It was absolutely a master class to sit and watch yesterday.
So you're saying if you want to go fish Notley, go fish docks right now. There you go. Secret.
But you got to know, no. Because if I went and tried to fish docks with the way I was trying to skip and all that, you ain't going to do no good.
That's probably because you just can't skip worth of shit.
I can't.
Well,
there's no doubt about it. Listen, I'm seriously telling you that it was an absolute clinic. And it was just almost as much fun watching him be able to put these things. There was one time he went to the side of a dock, went through the dock, all the way through the other side, whole other side dock, and was able to work it all the way back. It was absolutely amazing. So, guys, if you get a chance to go fish with him on a dock, if you're better than he is, I'd like to see it. That was actually amazing, and I had a hell of a time. But again, new lake scenery. It was good scenery. Sure. Everything was different.
I'm the type of person I'm always talking about Chickamauga. If I lived on Chickamauga, first year I'd be sick and tired of it going, well, hell, let's go back to Lanier. That's the kind of person.
Thanks for letting us know where they're at on Notley. I may need that this weekend. Actually, no, you won't, buddy, because I'm telling you right now, this guy was that good. So, he might not ever take me fishing again, but I'm talking more of the art of what he was doing as opposed to where the fish were. Cause I promise you, he caught a lot more in other places before we got to that. So it was pretty good. But I'm talking about the scenery and then watching somebody say, hey, this is how you do it, and teaching me and taking the time to show me. And it was great. I loved every bit of it. So absolutely the best electric only lake in the whole state is the Carroll County Reservoir, Lake Seton. Prove me wrong.
Didn't Seton produce that 16 or 17 pounder a couple 3 years ago?
Is that the one the girl had, or
no? It was a guy.
It was a guy had that one. I don't know.
Maybe it was in Coweta County.
Coweta.
Coweta.
What did he say?
Coweta.
What
I
is-
said Coweta.
Coweta
I don't know.
in Coweta County.
However people say it.
Rocky Mountain, best small lakes republic is Rocky Mountain. Taylor, I can't prove you're wrong, buddy. Never fished there, so that's awesome. What you can tell me what's so good about that lake? Michael Temples, I tried it this weekend. It was a disaster. I don't think he's talking about that. Ned Riggs, do not skip the best, and it is practice. But here's the thing on the electric only side, and that's something that we talked about yesterday when I was in the boat with the fella, is we don't come across docks like that. There's not a ton of docks on the lakes that we fish. So, and Lanier docks are a little bit different. I mean, I guess, and they're in deeper water, and it's kind of.
So the North Georgia lakes have the permanent docks, and like those are a really cool change of pace.
There's
after you get used to all the floaters having the proper
there was
like
pylon docks,
wood piling ones.
There was one guy had a walkway out to his dock that probably went about 35, 40 feet in the water. Then it got to his dock. Underneath that dock, he had ropes, and he did it on purpose because the neighbor come out to. He did it so people wouldn't be casting up under his dock and stuff like that.
There's always one.
Oh, it was insane.
But you know what? He don't own that dock. The Corps owns that dock.
Well, the Corps don't own that. That's a TVA lake. So how does that work?
He owns a lot of people's crappie jigs now.
Oh, he does.
I like what you're thinking.
He does. So the Whopper Ploppers, I'm sure they skip very well. So BT Brown, that was BT Brown Lake in Coweta County. We do skip under some trees. I saw that. A lot of good comments coming in. Burton has great docks. Burton has all the docks on pilings, and I would love to see Farmer up there on those docks because it was, he owns the dock on a TVA. Okay, so there you go.
My mistake.
Little bit different. So,
I'll say when I'm wrong.
yeah, and I didn't know that, so it's good. We all learned something right there. So, go to Weiss. You have 1,287,093 docks, almost.
And
all pole docks to skip.
And every one of them docks probably are surrounded by Christmas trees.
Yeah, I bet we found that out too, but it was good.
I know that there's some pretty good fishing on Weiss, not only for crappie, but there's some big bass in there too.
At Weiss, yeah, a lot of people have been talking about that. So, anyway, we're going. So me and Tyler Bird have been talking about for a while. We're going to do a tournament on Lanier, see who the best is. We'll be at 200 entry fee, pay only 2 spots. We'll be open to anyone. Well, hell, man, come on over to us. I'll charge $250. We can do it on electric only lake and do the same thing.
Then do it.
We can do
talk about it. Be about it.
You want to do it? You want to do a $250 tournament?
If you pay for my entry fee, I'll do it.
Okay.
I don't care.
We'll do that.
I'll fish it just fish.
He's happy to risk.
I'll find
exactly.
risk my money. I'll have an open tournament. We'll see. We'll do that.
Y'all need to do a bracket tournament. I think that would be cool.
We discussed it, but it has not happened yet.
We've discussed a lot of things that haven't happened. We try.
Yeah.
I can only do so much.
It was like a winter. That'd be a good winter series.
A winter series. Yeah. We'll do it at Coweta Lake. How did he say it?
I'm trying to enunciate.
How did he say it? Coweta. I love it. So, all right. So, if you want a cool change of pace from Weiss, go up to Little River Canyon for red-eye bass and largemouth. Philip Hutchins. He knows everyone.
You might as well throw him on one of the best river anglers. You can throw him up there.
Well, and that's the bad thing. And I know I'm making the Lanier guys hold on.
You're blowing smoke up the Lanier guys' ass.
I'm making them hold on because I know that once they see he didn't call my name, they're all going to leave.
It hurt my feelings.
I don't want to, because I mean,
they're all going to leave and go straight to Facebook. I cannot believe
that Danny Pruitt.
You know what?
But I'd
put $100 up against you just to go fish against you.
What? $100 me against you?
My temple said I'll pay for Blake just to see you against Danny. I'll take that any day.
What lake?
You pick it.
Okay, for charity?
No, I'm gonna take that money from my back pocket and I'm gonna come up here and buy another FX rod with it.
Is that what it is? I tell you what, we might do a little fundraiser and make a.
I told you what we needed to do. That was you get on the front of my bass boat for 3 hours, whichever lake you wanted, and then me get on the front for 3 hours, and we weigh our best 3 to 5.
Okay, we'll do that.
You're gonna go Lake Commando style. You never watch that show?
Is that what it's called? I
Ain't nobody fishing naked.
Ultimate mass fishing.
No, that's another thing.
We ain't fishing naked. All right, so here we go. All right, so we'll do this. But anyway, one of the things I wanted to say is kayak guys.
I like what Phil said. 3 lakes. We do a bass lake. We do a reservoir lake in your boat.
Okay.
And then the last tournament, we'll pick it out of a dang hat, either big lake or small lake. And we do best 3.
Okay. Money on Blake. Ryan Sheffield. Okay, I got you.
Side action.
That'd be
That's fine.
fun. Seriously, if we did like a
Little
3
side
lake
pot
against
going.
each
That's
other.
fine. Well, okay, we'll do it. So we will do that. We will figure that out. And I'll because it's easy for me to say we always do that. I say we'll do 180
You know how many
things, we never
times
do
it's
it.
come out of your mouth and nothing's happened?
Well, I'm trying to get better about that. So we'll try it. So good idea. Everybody's on it. So North George Lakes Hartwell. Don't know how far north Yahula is.
You follow.
You
follow.
Did you really just
There's an F in there, Danny.
And you follow?
Boys, it's been a long day. So put lakes in a hat draw that morning. Okay, we'll do it.
That'd be hard.
That's the first time those two lakes have ever been confused.
Look at
Is that Eufaula or Eufaula?
Eufaula. We got big old skeeters in here like that. So
That thing will carry Paul off.
yeah.
Shoe bug.
All right, we'll do that. So here we go. All right, so here we go. Let's get on this. I want to say this about the kayak guys, and the reason I brought Paul on here was because I got no kayak guys were talking. I know Paul kayak fishes. I didn't get a lot of responses. Like who is the best?
I didn't have a lot of response either.
I know you didn't, but if you had to pick,
I mean,
the top 2 or 3 kayak anglers that you know of in the
I know
Georgia.
of in the state.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Smith, might have retired from it. He's pretty good, especially the Lanier kind of Highland Lakes. Mike Menova has gone on to fish some of the bigger series and whatnot. He's a big competitor. Rock Lee, he's the TD at I'd like to say he's the TD for Real Crazy. Rock's got game.
Okay.
I see his name at the top of a lot of standings. It's just I don't know. I'm not in it a lot. Or I'm in the tournaments, but I don't typically do really well.
Right.
So.
Fluke Master.
There's a lot of guys that I got. Craig, Andy Middleton. I mean, Little's got a lot of game. I mean,
Paul, you got a vote, so there you go.
Thanks, Sheffield.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Let's see. In Georgia, Drew Gregory and Craig Dye. Okay.
Dye's got
Dye's
game.
good. So that's what I'm saying. The problem was that nobody spoke up. And I wish somebody would have spoke up a lot earlier. And I posted this on several kayak pages, and nobody. It was like crickets.
Sheffield, I can beat them down at the Rattling Bog.
At the Rattling Bog.
Take down there. I'll clean anybody's clock.
At the Rattling Bog. So
the song.
No love for the old Fluke Master for kayaks. Hey, he's one of the ones that's always on there. So I
ain't never seen him in a local tournament. I mean, does he win? Lambert's got game.
Okay.
Much money, Lambert.
I don't know. So
I'm just waiting for somebody to be like Ricky Bobby. Look, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. That's what I'm waiting for somebody to do. That's how I was going to open this up. Like, who's the best? I was going to be like, I'm just going to put it straight to you.
Yeah.
I wake up and I piss excellence. That's what I was going to say.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know what to do with my hands. I thought about that all day. Not surprised somebody ain't done that.
Well, as a matter of fact, a few may have behind the scenes.
Behind the I'm the best over on that lake. I just don't know what them boys are talking about.
Let's jump on Lanier. Let's jump on Lanier, and then we can talk about all of it. Let's go in right here.
It's about to get deep.
You Lanier guys, all right. Y'all are your own special breed. Here is one name on the guide came up over and over and over and over again. Now there's several of them got votes. Jimbo got a vote. Rob Jordan did not get a vote. Nope. He did not. Not today. That's not saying
for a guy that's out there every single day catching them.
Did not at least for anybody that talked to me today.
Huh.
I'm not saying Rob is not a good one. I'm just saying
Rob is a good one. That's the thing. He's
we'll
out
have
there
to
every
figure
day.
out that Michael where Jeremiah fits in. We can figure out a place.
If you want to bring in swim bait fishing, he's probably one of the best, and he's got the pictures to back it.
Well, I got here's the one that got the most votes. Ryan Coleman.
Yeah.
Owner spot sticker.
Yeah.
So Ryan Coleman got and I had
guys that are good talk about Ryan Coleman.
I had more people. Mac Farr, yeah, and I listened to. And here's the thing, Derek, you're correct. And that Mac is the striper guys were not very well represented today either. So that's another thing. We were extremely, extremely, extremely bass heavy. But
Mac's got a lot. He can do both.
Mac can do both.
He came up as a bass fisherman.
Yeah, so he's good. There were some votes for him. But it was without even question.
Blair's
Ryan
got a lot
Coleman.
of Blair's got a lot of game on the lake.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the thing about a lot of the guys, especially some of the striper guys that have been at it for a while, they know the lake really well.
Got all them hot spots.
They got the striper thing down like Blair goes, especially late winter, early spring, catches a crap out of crappie.
Right. Yes.
I mean, they'll go skip shoot docks and slam them.
Yeah.
What do you mean shooting dots? I take a gun and shoot them?
Yeah, man.
Listen
Really?
at you,
Yeah.
listen at you.
Dude, I ain't never seen something.
Mac is the man all around, and Michael LJ or Derek White. I'm gonna get to Derek here in a second. Ken Sturdivant,
Oh man, Ken's been on the lake for ages.
father time right there.
Good fisherman.
Yeah, he is. So again, Aaron Russell, Wrexham, every tournament. Josh Tatum gave that answer, and probably
you
so.
gotta throw out the Turner boys.
Well, I am. We're going to bring all
Yeah,
them up,
Turner boys.
and I'm glad. But right now, but that's what I was saying. As far as a guide, it wasn't even close. So, but again, bass heavy.
Yeah.
And not. Let me write that down because I didn't have them down. I know they were on there.
Mathaley's got to be on that list somewhere, right?
Who?
Jimbo.
Jimbo got a. Actually, I wrote
There
Jimbo
he is,
down.
okay.
Jimbo. I wrote Jimbo down. He got some boats, but it wasn't even really close as far as
Yeah.
people saying, the best guide was Ryan Coleman. But again, like I said, bass heavy. So we definitely want to give Blair and McFar and those guys their due because they're just like on Alatuna. Not too many people said anything about
those
the
guys,
striper guys.
Yeah, so many years in, dude. Like
Right, and actually the question is best angler, and so we kind of jumped straight into bass guys. So that's the way it is. Actually, so when you win a major trail event on Lanier and he is a local, he should get some votes.
So
well, here's
one.
I'm
He's a
gonna
guy
pop that up
that's around a lot. Speaking of Lanier and striper fishing, where would you fit a guy like Henry Cowan?
Because he's his own special. Yeah,
man, I've pretty much invented what he does.
Oh, you got to put him at the as you know. For what he
That's-
does, fly fishing for stripers, he's probably the best hands down on the lake, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah.
I mean, not even close. And he does catch some really big spot bass too.
Oh yeah.
So I said spot bass. I don't know why I said spot, not spotted. So
They got spots on them.
do what now? All right. So Facebook, what's the deal, Danny? People are trying to join but can't. And I've been trying to invite someone, and it won't let me. Buddy, I don't understand. First of all, I wish I had your name right there. When you say trying to join, if you're talking about the group page, I can't do that while I'm doing a show. I mean, I can look and see if that's what you're talking about right here.
The group
So,
page or
it is.
start accepting people on your friends request.
Well, I have to do it in the group page. So there you go. I'm going to do this right now. So I can multitask right here. There we go. Approve.
Listen to this.
Approve. Approve. There we go. All right. So everybody that tried to join in, it should be there. If that's what you're talking about. So anyway, Derek White, I'm going to bring you up because you're kind of in a special category a little bit. You're one of the ones that kind of has the name got thrown around as somebody who could catch all species of fish all year long. And you do post a lot on the pictures of impressive catches, but they go striper spots, crappie. Yeah. He also goes down to does some saltwater stuff. So you can throw that right there in. And so that's you were kind of in between what I would say the guide and the guys that fish more the bass tournaments only, stuff like that. So I don't really know how to categorize it. If it is about best angler, you would be, I would say, one of the ones on it because you can do most of anything out there. The number one name on the list, there were two today from all the votes that I got, and they're familiar names on Lanier. And then I'm gonna go through all of them, but the two highest ones was Paul Marks and Jason Johnson. Jason is currently not fishing. He's kind of taking some time off, but I got, let's see. Last year I've not fished a tournament before. That probably won more than Randy. Well, you might have, Derek, and I appreciate it. I'm just going by, what the people that told me today and how they contacted, or what they said about you. And that's kind of when you were on the Facebook saying, you were one of the best all around. So they really didn't get into the tournament stuff too much. So I have no reason to doubt you whatsoever. But when it comes to the best anglers, the majority of the votes went to Paul Marks and Jason Johnson. Again, and like I said, Jason Johnson is not currently fishing, but he did make it up to the FLW. Paul Marks, he's a constant. His son is a pretty good fisherman too, Paul Marks Jr. So those got the most votes, and then we can dissect it from here. These are other names that got popped out today. Randy Dover. Randy is winning a lot of the local tournaments.
You got
of tournaments right there.
You got to put Stephen Mulkey and Tim Pruitt in there.
Well,
Mulkey don't fish a lot of the big tournaments, but a lot of the smaller pot tournaments. He's good at that. Tim, he won the Gambler tournament over a couple years ago, and he's pretty good.
He's pretty good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't. Well, you would be the first one. I know who they are. They didn't get. They didn't get mentioned.
Like I said, Mulkey, he don't fish a lot of the bigger tournaments. He fishes a lot of pot tournaments, and on any given day, he'll take you money.
Okay. Well, there you go. Randy Dover just won. Did he not just win the Skeeter
I have no idea.
this past weekend? I don't know. I think that name. So, I think you might have David Nichols, Brad Wiley, multiple votes for Daryl Strayhorn during bed season. Apparently, when it comes
specifically,
well, no, seriously, specifically bed season, I got Daryl Strayhorn. I know it's probably about 4 or 5 people voted for that. Dustin Neal, Matthew Wilbanks, Brock and Josh Turner. Here's where I got a Jesse Millsap in that. And I don't know if it's Lanier only, but that's the people that voted for Jesse. Randy revote. Randy the best on Lanier for sure. Randy Dover, I would say right now he is probably Randy Dover won the Skeeter. Right now he is probably the hottest fisherman on Lake Lanier right now. But he did not get the best votes, the most votes today. That went to Paul Marks and Jason Johnson, and I can only speak for Jason just from knowing him personally. You know, I know how intense he was at that.
You think he's ever going to come back?
That's not for me. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Super nice guy. I've talked to him a time or two.
Jason's a good dude. I wished he would. Paul Marks, is he involved with Oakwood now? Oakwood Bait and Tackle? Or am I wrong? Am I thinking somebody else? I might be wrong. If any of you guys know what Paul Marks is up to, I know Paul Marks' son finished pretty high in the Skeeter, I think, this weekend too as well. So, I mean, you got that list right there. There's a lot of guys right there. I said the Turner boys, Brock and Josh Turner. So if you got to go through all of these, though, you know, would a Randy Dover be good on Alatoona? Would a Bardet or a Thurman be good on Lanier? I know Bardet's good on Lanier.
Bardet's already good on Lanier.
Bardet is good. Half owner. Okay, so he's half owner of Oakwood Bait and Tackle. I thought he had gotten involved with that pretty good. So, you know, when you get into lists like this, they're all subjective.
Yeah. This is all opinions.
It is all opinions, but it's just like this. It's the perspective that the people that gave me information today, it's their perspective that, you know, they've seen. Okay, so they're seeing people. You know, I know Jason Johnson did the FLW for a couple years. Like I said, I have noticed Randy Dover's name at the top. In fact, the video that Josh and I did for the pit crew, Randy Dover was one half of the winning team on that. I've heard Daryl Strayhorn's name mentioned numerous times, and it's always about largemouth. Not saying he can't catch spots, but he is a largemouth hammer.
Anyone can catch spots. They're not tough to catch.
They're dumb fish.
Okay.
I think they're too aggressive for their own good. I wouldn't say that they're dumb.
They're just aggressive. Okay. Anyone can catch spots. Well,
when you get them fired, once you get them fired up a little, they're.
Yeah.
So what do you think? I mean, okay. So if you're thinking about the guys that I'm saying, what would make the best angler? What's your definition of the best angler, given what you like to do? I mean, if it's a bass guy, fine. If it's a striper guy, but if I say Blake, I want you to describe what you think the best angler would be.
The best angler needs to be able to be versatile wherever he goes. You've got a lot of the big guys on Lanier that you could probably take to a different lake and they're going to struggle. When it comes to being, I say, the best angler, you ought to be able to leave this lake, go find a pattern on this lake. If it's smallmouth, if it's spots, if it's largemouth, you need to be able to compete.
Right.
Just because it's your home lake and you're the hammer on the home lake, can you go to other lakes and be able to compete on smallmouth, largemouth, Tennessee River, stuff like that? That's what makes an all-around really good angler to me, is being able to go to different lakes and still be able to compete. Gotcha.
So here's an interesting comment. Out of all the names, who are all, what are they doing to make a living? If you can do it to earn a paycheck, then you're some of the best. Yeah, that's true if you are one of the best anglers that likes to fish tournaments. All right. So, I mean, I guess tonight's show is everybody's kind of pushing towards that tournament angler, but we've mentioned
Yeah.
Phil Hutchinson's name several times. I don't know
I
that
would
he
be
don't
the
fish.
opposite. I think that the best angler is the guy that is like Babe Ruth. He calls his shot. He gets up in the morning and he says, I want to go catch crappie today. And he goes and fills the cooler. Or he says, I feel like bass fishing. And he just goes. I mean, I got friends that are trout fishermen and say the best trout anglers are probably there's a 70-year-old guy that nobody knows, that nobody's ever heard of, that's out there, 350 days a year because he loves it. And he knows his water and he knows his fish. But I think, and that's for me personally, that's always kind of been to be a good angler, to be a great angler is like, I don't need to master every one thing, or I don't want to master just one thing and only be able to do the one.
Right.
I want to do it all a little.
I got you.
Like I want to be able to go down to the coast and catch reds and catch trout. That's fun.
Yes.
Like I want to be able to hit the river and have a chance to get a big brown or some nice rainbows. That's fun.
I got you.
It's bass tournaments are cool and I enjoy it. Like that drive and that burn, like when you're out there, to want to do well and you start making friends and having those relationships with people. That's awesome. But that's like, sometimes you want to go striper fishing,
When it comes to guys talking about making money on tournaments, I mean, you need to be out there every chance you get. Like, you need to be one of these guys that don't have to work a full week. You can go fishing 2-3 times a week. That's when you really get a good angler and can start winning.
Time on the water. So I will say this. Let's see. Justin Speaks. I will say, to a point, you're wrong, Blake. Look at the professionals. They crack a great bag in one tournament and crap the bed in the next one. Doesn't mean they aren't great anglers. I think a great angler, and then it kind of cut him off right there.
Run out of character.
I get what he's saying. I understand. It's someone who catches fish consecutively and all the time.
Most of the pros do that, though.
Nobody does it all the time.
Right, but that is true. Most pros do catch fish no matter what.
Exactly. And the reason they're pros is because they can read a lake, break a lake down, unlike normal people like us.
Right, yeah, that's right. Anyone can catch them, not under pressure. That's true. What if you took what if you took away the Panoptics and live imaging away? What would happen? Those guys would probably still catch fish.
I would go nothing yet. Because you haven't had a full generation of guys
True,
that have had that.
I mean, look at Greg Hackney. Greg Hackney's leading AOY this year for Bassmaster Elites. The guy's been doing it for years. He's just now getting into the live scope game. But
I think that would be interesting. Like if you went 10 or 15 years with live imaging and then
took it away,
BASS or whoever said, you know what, no. Or if you had a tournament series that came in and said, you know what, we want to dial back and limit that technology to really try and level that playing field and see who's got it. That would be cool. I
think to do that now, you would have to go far. You would basically just have to take sonar off the boat now in the hole if you want to kind of do that experiment now. So, like you said, you have live imaging and stuff hasn't been out long enough. Yeah. But like some really high def sonar and stuff has. Yeah. So if he wanted to do that experiment now, we'd have to just take sonar off the boat. But I see what you're saying. In 10, 15 years, let's see what happens. And that would be interesting to see how they would be able to do it. Pros have boats following and fishing the spot when they leave. I guess he's just saying they're in the know. So, I mean, I get what he's saying. Pros have people coming behind him and stuff like that. I guess that's what he's trying to say, Chris.
Yeah,
Nation.
Like you've got a lot of guys, like take the Bassmasters, for example. Pro leave a ledge or something, say they're ledge fishing some tournament. They've been catching fish all morning. They'll have somebody pull up and just start catching their fish.
Right. I got you. That's true. And Ron, this is kind of pretty much something that we've been saying, because again, we're bass heavy and we are, everybody's talking more tournaments, but the best fisherman on any given body of water may or may not be a tournament angler. They throw it all in on other species. There are some great anglers out there that never turn any fish.
Everybody's got their opinion. Like I said, you might have some 75-year-old man that can do something different every day. But when I think of angling, I think of tournament fishing, and that's because that's what I do.
Right.
That's what I do.
And so that's kind of what I think, what first pops to mind. You like the competition aspect of
It's like I like it, but I'm not married to it.
Right.
And I don't think that defines me as an angler, whether or not I succeed or fail in tournaments. Like I enjoy it. Like I'm not going to say that it's not a measuring stick, because absolutely it is.
Right.
Otherwise, why are you there?
Right.
But
do you think adding the pressure though that comes with fishing a tournament makes it, you're raising it up a level?
It changes things. I mean, when you're on 4 and you're trying to get 5 in that 5th one in the boat, and maybe you have one shake a hook or whatever.
Or when
like
it's 12 o'clock and you ain't got to fish.
It matters a lot more. And that's kind of, at the moment, fun is the wrong word.
Right.
In the moment, it's not fun at all.
Right.
Like you hate life, but the experience itself, like when you're on the grind and like you want things to go well and it starts to come together, like there's that extra, it's more gratifying too. Like the success is sweeter.
Right.
The highs are higher, the lows are lower.
Right. Let's see. Yeah. Jeremiah, KVD fished the power plant on the Chick during the tournament, and it became a community hole. Everybody goes there ever since.
I fish there every time I go up there.
Every time. So
The bent rod pattern.
It's just
the bent rod pattern.
I mean, the thing is, you get them eddies up there and it just stacks of fish, which I'm sure that spot had been fished for years before that happened. And then everybody's seeing it on TV. It's like, oh, we're going to Chick. We got to fish power plant.
Well, okay.
Just like Pickwick.
Yeah, they have temp there too.
So then
they have temp there too.
The temperature.
Does the temp a lot?
Yeah, the reactor's kicking out cold water and it creates those eddies up there and stuff.
Okay.
A lot of guys go up there and catfish it.
Electronic fishing has definitely changed fishing. That's true. It has changed it some. And again, we're basically considering everybody, like you just said, Philip, artificial guys. I know some guys that they only fish with bass minnows and all that. Stuff like that, and that's fine. I've had a great time doing it. So who's the greatest fisherman of all time? I can name some right off the bat. Jeremiah says
Kevin Van Dam.
Kevin Van Dam, you think is the greatest tournament angler of all time?
Bass fisherman of all time.
Okay, all right. So what about somebody outside of that? I mean,
although
I don't know
for Van Dam though. I mean, like you could go ahead and say guys like Roland or like Bill Dance that got out of the tournament game because they saw kind of the power of media and kind of went down that road to bring bass fishing to all of us.
Bill Dance, yeah.
I mean,
could you imagine just having to fish with a flasher? So Casey Blanton, they take my money all year, but I love the competition and I love to fish.
Casey, you're full of crap. You take people's money all the time.
So that's kind of another thing too. Some of these guys, maybe they don't fish it for fun. They fish it they just want to wear you out and beat you. So I mean, that's what's fun to them. It ain't so much the fishing; it's the competition drives them.
When I pull up to a tournament,
Larry Nixon, that's a good one.
When I pull up, I want to wear everybody out. I want to leave going, dang. Somebody sees me pull up, dang, should I even put my boat in the water? That's like when I pull up to a tournament, that's what I want to be like.
And that's the guys that I wanted on my list today.
Yeah.
So these guys, basically,
when you see that boat show up, it's business time.
If I was to pull up and seen the Turner boys and all that, I'd be going, I'm donating today. I better fish good or I'm donating.
We honestly used to do that with Chris Gayton. When we got in the electric only thing, because he was
the Linders, man. You talk about a media empire. And
exactly.
Really like doing a lot to bring like one multi-species. I always really liked In-Fisherman.
This is the In-Fisherman guys. Yes, from up north.
Because I mean, granted, you got stuck with bass and walleye and then like a wild card most of the time, but it's like because they did more than one thing. Right. It's kind of it gives you the impression that they're better, more polished. But I mean, their method, such as it isn't anything crazy. It's you understand your fish, you understand its habits, and you just go and do it.
See, Justin Spence says going back to the originals. Click on that if you're going back to the originals. They started it, and these newer guys somewhat ruined it. The newer guys didn't ruin it. Time's changing. It's that simple. When it comes to bass fishing or any kind of fishing, things are changing. Look, we didn't have spaceships so many years ago. Times are changing.
You're right.
Back in the day, you'd have to go out there and hand crank your car.
That's true.
Push a button and now it cranks.
You're right.
Times are changing. These people that complain, you got to stop complaining. The times are changing.
Right. Okay.
And that gets under my skin when people's like, oh, all these electronics and all this is ruining it. The baits are changing.
I think
It's like that with
the
everything.
bait thing doesn't bother me maybe as much as the electronic thing. I think I understand the electronic thing a little more. Like lures are lures. You're always going to have the newest and coolest,
Right? Yeah.
stuff coming out. But I can see the gripe with the real time sonar and all that, and that's cool stuff. Like I've been on boats that have it. It's awesome. Like
Right.
but I think people.
That's like, man, I got live scope, but I don't rely on
people are always gonna, when there's that impression of like the haves and the have-nots,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's always going to be some friction there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Justin. What is it about the sport that is ruined?
I don't see nothing.
I know. I want to get his definition of what is ruined about the sport, and then we can go from there. So, I'm just curious on that.
I like what Pork Taco said. All these new technologies still don't mean you can catch them.
Well, that is true. That is true. And George Smith, when you think of who the best is in any sport, you think of athletes that play in professional sports. That's what tournament anglers do.
My counterpoint to that, though, would be in a lot of professional sports, like in golf and in baseball, they don't let you use the latest and greatest technology. Ronald Acuna doesn't get to go to bat with a little whippy carbon fiber custom made bat. He has to use a chunk of wood.
I got that. But that's more for safety because they'd kill people.
Yeah. If you're out there slinging aluminum bats.
I mean, I think I get it. That.
He'd hit 70 home runs.
They probably would. They probably would hit 70.
Golf is the same way. At pro level, they have limits on what they can use. I can use, better clubs than them, or clubs that are more forgiving than a pro player.
I want to make an answer. I want to answer this. If I can go up to Justin yesterday, go up to Justin, and I'm going to bring. It's Justin Spieth. So about the sonar thing. Let me say this about sonar, and I'm going to go back to my experience yesterday with Jonathan Farmer. All right, he doesn't have the latest greatest stuff on his boat. He's got it looks like a Helix 7 and a Lowrance at the thing. They're small. He does not have any live scope, none of that stuff, no 360s, none of that. And number one, if you follow him in the tournaments, he's always fishing pretty high. He's finishing pretty high. He's actually finished pretty high in some of the BFLs. I'm not saying he's winning them, but he's finishing pretty high. I watched him dissect a lake yesterday, and he didn't use his graph one time.
Not even to look at the map.
No,
well, he has a local up there. He knows the lake.
Doesn't matter though. But he knew he did not use a map. We didn't go, hey, let's go fish a brush pile here. Let's go do this. He had a plan that morning. We went in. He looked for stained water. He looked more for water conditions. He looked more for and granted, he has a knowledge of the lake, but the tournament aspect is all about money. If we be honest with you, I mean, the tournament, if you're fishing for a tournament, it's 100% about money. I would say for most people.
If you're a bass angler and you're fishing a tournament, you're there.
You're there to try to win some money.
Forecheck, backcheck, paycheck.
That's right. So
that's what tournaments are made for.
And listen, there's too much money in the industry now between Humminbird, Panoptics, and all that. That's your major sponsors. It's not going away. So that's kind of I get what you're saying. But eventually everybody will have all the live scope. They'll all do it. But I watched this kid yesterday just break a lake down, a dock down, and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Break a ledge. He would say, hey, look, this is a pinch point. He was showing me creeks and stuff. And not one time we fished from, and this is no lie, because my God, he likes to fish. We put in about 8:00 yesterday morning. And I don't think I saw him drink anything. And 6:00 that night we got off the lake. It might have even been after 6. And but not one time did we dial in anything.
Phil, that's a bad idea.
Christine Fisher's off the market.
Well, that's it. Justin Spieth, listen though, but I would say probably all those guys know that are the pros probably know how to do that, but they're just using the stuff to their advantage that it's available
exactly
to them. They probably all grew up learning how to do that. Now, again, just like to speak to what Paul said, it'd be interesting with this generation in 10 or 15 years if you took it away, if they lose their instinctive fishing ability.
If guys to take it away from guys that have always had it,
right,
is going to have much more of an effect than just to ban it from guys that have had it since it showed up.
Right. A thing you could break it down to.
Read Mark Cagle's comment.
Yeah, John Cox always wins tournaments without his graph because he barely uses them.
Smith Lake without the live scope.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
Yes.
It can definitely be done. And that's the thing. And that's what I said. That's what I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
And so that's what was so impressive, not only with some of the techniques you showed me, but that, because we talked about that. And
there's from Michael, like there's an interesting take. We were just talking about the money motivation. It's like you have to think about what is the value of sponsoring a pro fisherman to the sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Does that guy move the needle? Does that guy move product?
Mm-hmm.
That's 100% what it's about.
That's what a sponsorship is for them to sell your stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He might never use live scope. It's still on the boat.
And listen, a lot of them guys, a lot of them guys are going to do that.
You can look at it this way. There's hundreds of jig manufacturers out there.
Oh, more than 100, but
there's thousands. That's right. Okay. You got somebody to sponsor you. They're going to talk at jig. They might not even fish your jig, but they're going to sell your jigs because they're talking about it.
Well, and that's it. And you've got to move
one hand washes the other.
Exactly. I will say this. Jordan Lee won the MLF Angler of the Year last year without a live scope on his boat.
See, this is the thing. People act like live scope is just winning everything. It's not. There's still guys out there that are winning these big tournaments without using it. And then there's plenty of guys that are using it to win.
I love this thing.
It's just a tool.
If you are worried about what your competition has, you've already beat yourself.
That's 100%.
That's good. And I get what you're saying, Justin. I totally get what you're saying. Back to the sponsorship money, I can just go from my own experience in trying to get sponsors for the elites. I've had guys ask, companies straight up ask, what's your social media presence? How many likes, how many looks am I going to get? I mean, I've had guys ask this, and companies ask this, is it going to help me move a product, or are we going to get certain air time or stuff like that? And we're small. I cannot even imagine, I can't even imagine what a big time.
You know what I can imagine?
What's that?
Some delicious Wyawega cheese curds.
Some delicious Wyawega cheese
I know where there's some is.
Guys, I do too. They're at Fish, North Georgia. We still have some in stock. You guys come get you some delicious Wyawega cheese curds.
Yeah, we might need to
Paul is so good at that. Paul is the best at that. Bill Owen just won without using his graph. He beat the live scope boys.
All he was doing was pitching a jig around docks on Pickwick.
Yeah. And
hey, he wasn't even in the top 10 in the first day.
And just kept going. The guy turned around and caught 2 big ones on the last day, and it caused him to win. I still think I'm going to do a tournament next year with no sonar, just like an open tournament somewhere. I just think that'd be interesting on some of these lakes. Now, listen, the thing about it is you need a whole team of lawyers for high-level marketing. Ain't that right? Not the cow-weeded cheese, it's the Wyawega cheese right there. Absolutely. We're not going back to strand mono and all fiberglass rod. As technology evolves, you use what works for you. Hey, listen, the paper map that Ron Pendergrass is commenting on right now. Listen, that is a lost art. That is a lost art to be able to read that, because you got Navionics and stuff now to do it for you. But back in the day, that's what the old guys had, I mean,
you still have to. You have Navionics to take you to the spot, but you still have to look at the map and decide that the spot's worth going to.
Jacob Patterson, let's have one on Lanier, Danny. I tell you what. Now listen, this is another thing I'm telling you we might do. So you got to hold me to it, because I always tell everybody we're going to do stuff. We never do it. So let's see if somehow we can get a tournament put up on Lanier with no electronics. Can't even have the damn things on your boat. Unplug your grass, leave them at home.
That ain't hard to do. You could set that up, and then you could do it at the start of next month. You know why? Because it's bed season. Everybody's going to be running a bank.
No, we'll wait and do. Well, that might be true, but we'll wait and do it.
If you try it during the summertime, everybody knows what brush piles is too. If you want to really do one, let's go up to Carter's or Chateaugue, a lake that all these locals don't hit a lot.
But will they come up?
I'd rather.
That's the thing. If they don't come up, they don't come up. You'll have the guys that want to do it, and you have the guys that ain't going to want to do it. You're either going to show up or you're not. It's that simple. That's what it boils down to. You might have 100 boats. You might have 20.
Right.
And it's like that with every tournament.
That's true. I think, I just think it would be interesting to go back old school but that stuff's not going anywhere. I mean, let's be real, because it is with rods. I mean, I'm like he said, like Ron said, you can't describe the difference. I mean, you can describe it, but there is a extreme difference in holding a fine crafted high-end
FX
rod.
custom rod.
FX custom titanium
series rod that we sell here at Fish North Georgia. Come get yours today. In-store pricing, maybe I don't care. Just kidding. Seriously, then you go to Walmart and you buy, but if that's all you can find, that's
I
fine.
mean-
That's all I ever grew up fishing. But there's
I caught a lot of
difference.
fish on an ugly stick.
I
There have
did.
been a lot of fish caught on an ugly stick.
And it is. But
you know
tell
what's
me,
nice?
you do like it now though, the high end stuff.
I like being able to pull that jig across a rock and feeling that fish lick it.
That's right.
Can't be doing that no $20 ugly stick.
No.
There's
something for everybody though.
Exactly.
I have been mulling around some ways to do the kayak against other things. So look at there, Jonathan Farmer, my buddy, he is there. I'll come fish that deal. Sounds like a challenge, an awesome challenge. And you know what? I would put some money on him because he thinks differently than a lot of the guys that we've talked with. And that was what was pretty cool about listening to him all day. And he's which is pretty cool. Yeah, the FX is sweet. That's awesome, Philip. Hey, listen, they're great rods. What was cool though is he's younger than we are, and on the drive home and stuff, listening. And most time when people are younger, and Blake, even though he's goofy as crap on this show, is actually one of the more mature ones that we talk. We have adult conversations. Sure. And you just had to let me have time to finish that because I knew where you thought I was going, but listening to Jonathan talk yesterday, listening and learning something from somebody that was younger than me and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. So absolutely. I can imagine for sure he would, do well.
Let's start doing this. Let's get it set up for, let's see. It is end of March. Let's not do April because I couldn't do it because I'm pretty booked. Let's do it. No, I'm serious. He's
too busy tarpon fishing.
Yeah,
he's going tarpon fishing.
Yeah, I'm going tarpon
fishing. Do
fishing.
you use electronics for tarpon?
No, because tarpons you're fishing shallow. You're actually watching them swim beside
okay,
the
so
boat.
you're sight fishing.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's what I'm curious.
Are you pitching to them or?
Yeah, we're pitching to them, or we throw out
awesome.
we throw out bait behind the boat and let them drift in the current stuff. But no, let's set it up for May. Y'all have got one elite tournament in May?
Yeah, but what lake we talking about? Because you got to think permits. I mean, that's a big thing is permits.
I think he's getting a permit.
Well,
how about we get a lake full of hat? How about we get a hat full of lakes? And we'll sit here and draw the lake out right here, and we'll draw the date up on live. How about that?
Well, again, permits, or do you do it like this? Do we do and this now the guys that wanted the guys that are doing the weight are going to scream.
Doing the what?
But I know how kayak guys get. The guys that do weight, like we weigh in 5 fish.
Well, I mean, make a team tournament. The kayak guys want to come. I got open spots in my boat.
But what I'm saying is, what if you had the kayak guys against the boat guys, and you had them in the same tournament, and you just did it by length for one tournament? So the weight guys are going to balk. You
don't want to lose to no plastic boat.
You can't do that because bass guys they're wanting to do it off the weight.
You don't want to lose to no plastic boat. That's what that is.
All right. So how do kayak guys? So you're saying take kayak guys though out of the kayak?
Yeah, and you could do a tournament separate for the kayak guys. Do one for the glass boat guys, and then do one for the kayak guys. Because a lot of the kayak guys don't even have graphs, correct?
Oh no, they're loaded. Dude. Have you seen all their boats?
I'm saying a lot of them. I know. You got Port Taco and people like that with spot locks and all that junk.
If you went to a kayak tournament, like a big event, I mean, you see 7-inch graphs, 9-inch graphs, live scopes. 360s.
Look at all them kayak guys popping them. Paul, tell them they got it. They just listen. They got $10,000 in a kayak, like we got $10,000 in a boat.
Let's do the damn thing. If there's guys that want to get out of the kayak to get in a bass boat, like if you want to go with me, the heck with everybody I fish with, jump in the back of the boat and we'll do it. But we'll get a hat. We'll get a couple lakes in it that people are willing to drive to. We'll put in it. We'll get the name of the lake out of the hat, and then we'll go and get the permit, and we'll set the tournament up and do it. Well, you got guys. You got guys that are complaining about people fishing with graphs. Let's do it.
Well, we'll figure that. Let's.
Somebody's still going to be getting beat at the end of the day.
Right. Blake, you're a putz. Hey, now listen, Justin.
Where are you watching that at, Phil?
What he's saying is, and listen. I don't know though that on average kayak guys have as nice as a whole person for person than the bass guys do as a whole. There are a group of you guys that take it very seriously, but I don't know that everybody has.
Yeah, that's why I said what I said.
I would say though that it's that same,
probably the same concept as you guys in the aluminum boats to the kayak.
It's the same thing as with bass boats though. It's like
you got a spot lock on your kayak, you ain't got a paddle. Well, I paid for it.
Yeah,
it's
as the technology comes in at the top and the new toys come in at the top of the market, all that starts to trickle down and people start to feel that itch that, oh, well, I can't catch a fish if I don't have a sonar.
Right.
Oh, well, I can't have the kind of success that I want if I don't have GPS or mapping or spot lock or a power pole or whatever else. And I mean, those companies are happy to oblige. You know, they're not gonna leave $1,000 bills sitting out on the table.
Exactly.
They're gonna pick that money
That
up.
goes back where money can be made. It's made, baby.
So, John Aldred, I'm gonna answer on your comment. Some of us have no interest in getting out of the kayak and into a boat. Length needs to be used if it's a mixed tournament. Yeah, well, we might consider that. We'll think that, but it would be just like, some bass guys. It also depends too, like, if you're fishing a spotted bass lake, a smart person in a length tournament will go try to target largemouth because he's going to outlength you every time. Wouldn't you say that? Because spots are shorter.
Not necessarily.
If you were fishing Lake Lanier and you had to do a length tournament tomorrow, you're not going to put yourself in where
I
you
would,
catch largemouth.
yeah, because largemouth are shallow right now and easy to find.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it's in the middle of the summer, nope. I'm gonna go.
So that's what I'm saying.
Spots.
So that's what I'm saying. So it can be, I don't know, it can be a little bit. Do it like an MLF event. Kayaks can compete, limit the area you can fish, like one creek arm. Hey, listen, we might do that.
I'm out on the MLF.
I'm out on that junk too, because you got to have people in the boat with you. You've got to make sure people aren't cheating. That's hard. It's hard to do.
Well, so even by length though, it's just the impetus there is just to catch a lot of fish.
Exactly. I can go catch a bunch of 12 inchers, 15 inchers.
Speece. Winter all Saturday was all spot
That was
bag.
a monster bag too.
No, where's you talking about on kayak?
GAKFL event on Saturday.
Where at?
That was on Lanier.
How many boats did they have?
We had 46, I think.
How many largemouth were weighed in?
Unclear. I didn't look.
I would just be very, very curious.
Winning string was all spots. It was a 90 and 3/4, something like that.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. I mean, Speece, I would say though that given averages, that's not going to hold out all the time. If you had some really good largemouth fishermen that were on Lanier, that knew Lanier, and I'm not saying that a lot of you don't know Lanier.
I don't know if you could run enough water in a kayak on Lanier to run into 5 largemouth. I think that would be the problem.
Did you put it anywhere you wanted?
That'd have to be spawning.
Why would you?
Well, you spend if you want to make a big move though, that's a lot of time you just wasted.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm just saying,
you got to load up, move next ramp, put back in, and get set again.
I'm just saying that just because spots won on that one day, on average, if you're fishing length, and you got to tell you what, let's put this one. Notley. Notley's got both. Mm-hmm. All right, so it's got largemouth and it's got spots. A largemouth guy is going to beat you more often
in
than
general,
a spot because of the length.
Well, it's like
it might not hold true every time, but I would say more often.
The way those lakes set up though is like usually one species dominates, right? Like you don't have a lot of lakes where you can have that average size spot is sitting in 14 to 18 inches,
right?
And then you're also catching big largemouth. You're either getting
your really quality spots.
You're either getting quality of one or quality of the other.
Charles Ashley showing that largemouth got big fish at 22 inches, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, listen, my point being is, Justin, and don't take this wrong. I'm saying if you had a guy like Daryl Strayhorn, who is a largemouth specialist on Lake Lanier, and you stuck him in a kayak with you last Saturday or anytime over the next 2 months or however long the spawn goes on Lake Lanier, and he knows where they're at, he's going to put in where they're at, and he's going to wear you out on largemouth, especially in the length thing. Hell, he wears the guys out, most of the guys out in weight, but in length, he's going to absolutely just tear you to pieces. I mean, that's just a given on Lanier. Largemouth guy, next couple months.
It only takes one.
It takes one big largemouth.
That's usually like it's funny. The all spot bag was a little surprising. Most of the big tournaments I've seen,
but that's not common, Justin.
He gets four.
I know you're just saying it, but I'm telling you more often than not. You had one Saturday, is what I'm saying. You had one Saturday where a spot bag won, but I'm telling you on length limits, if you got a lake that's both of them, a largemouth's going to wear you out.
This is why I love this show, because I love people getting ill.
But that's my point. I'm right.
Heated.
No, you're right.
Well, Lanier's a spot lake. Of course, you're going to have a bag of spots win.
Well, more often than not.
It's hard to go catch 5 of the other.
But I'm telling you right now, if Daryl Strayhorn get his big butt in a kayak, he'd wear your butt out right now on largemouth, just because that's what he does.
Here's the thing: if we're really going to consider doing,
look, you look like you're about to fall asleep.
No, I'm not falling asleep. I'm getting irritated because no, I'm serious. If we're going to do this without the electronics, you're going to have to run 2 tournaments. You're going to have to do a length tournament.
Right.
And then you're going to have to do a weight tournament. There's going to be a lot of guys that won't fish the length tournament. There's going to be a lot of guys that won't fish the weight tournament. It simply boils down to that.
Correct. I agree with that. So I'm just saying, is I just I said this is no different than hitting home runs or base hits to win a ball tournament. That's true, Michael. But if you remember back in the day when we played ball, we played in some tournaments where you could only hit 3 home runs, and you played some where you could hit unlimited. And they were teams that would wax your ass on unlimited home runs, but they would get killed if they could only hit 3.
Yeah, wouldn't it be where they'd like wait till the bases are loaded so you could get your 4 runs?
And you got pissed off if somebody hit one out.
3-run homer counts.
Yeah, exactly.
And you would get absolutely mad. So like Kurt Wehunt, we caught 17 lips in a tournament on Lanier, and we were only in 2 creeks. The numbers are coming back, so they're there, and that's the point I was trying to make. Now, if I just think when you go by length, I just don't know. But you can win it on weights and spots, though. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can, because you can have large, especially in the fall. A lot of largemouth aren't fat; they're long and skinny.
Yeah.
In the fall, whereas your spots look like footballs.
Yeah.
So different time of the year.
Largemouth's not an open water predator like a spot.
That's what I'm saying.
No, they're not as. They're good. They can do it, but they're just not as efficient at it.
And Ron, I know. Listen, buddy, I know there's some long spots out there, but I think the vast majority of people will tell you that spots are going to be shorter than a largemouth on average. So we might
24-inch spots.
It's a monster spot. That's a giant spot.
But a 24-inch largemouth.
That's a nice fish.
Hey, she could weigh 4 pounds, but be that long.
Yeah, that's what
she could be skinny as crap, have a 7-pound head on her, but weigh 4 pounds.
So you could especially. I mean, I think that makes it a little bit easier to win a spot tournament on a lake like Lanier.
That's still a big old fish, though. I mean,
it is big.
I mean, they don't.
I'd rather her weigh 7 or 8 pounds.
Yeah, but they don't just get to 24 inches overnight.
It was hard in my area to completely target largemouth with bass boats in every cove. And listen, I understand that too.
It was covered up
very much so
on Saturday.
Very much so. I totally get it. I say once a spot hits 20 inches, it grows out more than it gets longer.
If y'all want to do a link tournament, go to Altoona. Have fun with it, boys.
So we can all catch 60 inches.
Okay, so let's at least examine this a little bit more, because I know we've gone this, but it all started out with electronics, and that's where all this started out with.
That was the root of the problem. That's
why
we're getting rid of them.
If you just asked me, Fish North Georgia should put on a bass tournament for kayakers, and then put on a bass tournament for the fiberglass bass boat guys.
And how do I say who is the best amongst them?
You're going to figure out who's the best of the kayakers, because you got a kayaker tournament, and then you're going to figure out who the best is in the fiberglass game.
Well, then how are you going to put them against each other?
Well, hell, take the top 5 of each one, get some guys out, be like, okay, we're going to let you kayakers borrow this bass boat, and y'all can go fish against these guys. And then vice versa, you turn around, okay, y'all fish this. Now y'all getting kayaks, and you go fish with the kayak guys.
See, there you go.
Make it simple.
Or you guys can get electric-only rigs and try to join the elites.
Speaking about that, there is a free 15-foot fiberglass Ranger that my buddy has. It's free. Got a trailer and everything. Somebody wants it, get with me. I can give you his number. Go pick it up. He's giving away. It's got 2 seats in it. It's ready to go. He don't want it. He's already got a fiberglass boat, and then he's got his electric rig boat. He's free.
If I wanted if you want sweet new electric outboard for that boat, like
come up here to Fish
maybe
Georgia.
from Elko or
exactly
or
E-Propulsion.
That's right. I'm not loaning nobody nothing. We can get you that Minn Kota if you guys want that Ultrex. We can get you that Ultrex as well, or any of your sonars except for the.
And those things are kind of expensive, Danny. What if I wanted to space out my payments?
You use a firm.
You could use a firm, and you could finance it. Yes. It's on the site. You can pre-qualify right then and there.
That's absolutely great. I've used it twice.
That's right. They can break it out into either 4 simple payments, no interest, or they can finance with interest depending on your credit. Not all people who apply will qualify. Check the details.
Some restrictions may apply.
Some restrictions may apply.
Y'all need to get quicker saying that where it sounds like it's on the radio. Some restrictions may apply.
Yeah, so it's like that. So it's simple would be the big boat guys buying a $20 measuring board. I love how the kayak guys, I love you, John Allred, you know that, but I like how you guys are not going to give in to this.
I mean, I've got
I don't want to get on a boat. They're going to make us buy. Well, you realize that most of the guys have a measuring thing on their boat anyway, because you got it like on this, got to measure every 14 inches and all that. So
I think
I'll measure mine and throw them in the live well. I'll do weight and measurement.
So Jonathan Farmer has a good question. Do all fish count in an inch tournament? It's only your top 5, right?
No, typically your 5 best.
5 best on length. So your
Like
five
you.
best in length is still the same kind of concept. They
Although I'm
just
sure
measure.
they're generally it follows what you would in a boat tournament. There are 3 fish tournaments and 5 fish tournaments and
right.
2 days and whatever else. That's just you measure them instead of weighing them.
What's wrong with it, Justin Speaks, is because you guys are prima donnas. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But you did say that, you know, I mean, kayak guys are a little bit different breed kind of in their own right.
Different cats.
You're different people, and that's okay. We like all of you.
I mean, I'm gonna take him to some night tournaments this year in the boat. It ain't gonna change his mind. He'll still want to fish kayak.
You know who would be good to ask about this?
About what?
Joshua Little.
That's
Because
my boy.
Joshua
Little would be a hoot for this.
Little would be a hoot for this because he does kayak tournaments.
Oh, but he's
But
been to BFL,
he's a co-angler in the BFL, and so we can ask him. You know, what's more exciting? Kind of get a better feel for that. I think I might set that up.
When it boils down, fishing is fishing. It don't matter if you're in a kayak or a boat. If you're fishing compatibly, it's fun either way.
It is fun either way.
But I'm still gonna weigh my.
So who's the
fish, I ain't
best?
gonna measure 'em.
So who's the best? Who's your best in Georgia right now?
Micah Frazier.
Micah Frazier.
I'm gonna say Micah Frazier.
Every time, Micah Frazier.
He's won elite tournaments. He's on the damn tournament trails. He's making money. He's doing it for a living. He built his house off his tournament winnings. I'm gonna say that.
Okay, how about best local angler not named Micah Frazier that you know of? It can be anybody.
That goes back to a lot, man. You got Barday, you've got the Turner boys, you got Rob Jordan, you've got all these local guys. Anybody can be beat on any given day. It's just like a wrestling match.
Yeah, I know. But
Anybody can be beat on any given day.
Well, Michael Jordan lost games, but he was still the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
So who's the best local angler not named Micah Frazier?
I don't know.
Who would you say? It could be a kayak guy. It just whatever's in your sphere of fishing.
You know what? I'll go back to the well. I'd say maybe someone like Bill Payne. Someone that's just been in it for so long and just has all that knowledge.
Wisdom and all that.
Yeah. You can't undersell that. You can't undersell
Good point.
the experience.
Good point.
It's just invaluable, those hours. It's the no matter what you have, that experience is going to be the equalizer.
Agreed. I agree with that. I would have to say if I'm looking at results right now, it's kind of hard not to go on Lake Lanier or Randy Dover right now.
We ain't going off results. We're going off the best.
No, you're going off somebody who's not a professional. I said local. I'm going off of who's probably who would be the best right now in what you do? How about kayaks? Right now, of all the people you fish against, who's the best of you fish against?
That I fish against?
Yeah. Because right now I would have to say Michael Geiger and Randy Moore because in an electric only world, as a team, they're there they're in the top 5 every single tournament. They're the most consistent fishermen I know.
Little's probably up there, Rock's probably up there. I haven't seen Minova at a local event lately, but he's probably up there.
Okay. I don't know why Bart Simpson put his name down there.
Yeah.
I must have
those 3 come to mind quick. I know I'm forgetting guys that have big game. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, the boat. Bart Simpson wants that free boat from your friend.
Like I said, y'all can contact me on Facebook. I ain't gonna contact y'all. He contacted me. So y'all can get with me and I'll give you the kid's number. Okay.
So we can do that. So Cody Jones says Mickey and Gary Duncan.
That's true. They've been winning all their pot tournaments that they've been fishing.
Okay, so right there. Josh McKay, he's on my top 5.
There you go, Josh.
He's a killing machine. Josh McKay, you hear that he got Danny Pruitt out of the boat and all of a sudden it broke the dam.
I mean, it's amazing.
Put this guy on a back burner.
That's right. Seriously, I'm just going to be here to talk from here on out.
But seriously, you try to break down who's the best. It's hard to do because it's fishing, man. It's like anything else. Anybody can be beaten any given day. It boils down to that.
Oh, that's true. But just
sometimes the lake will punish you.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Jordan.
They don't always give.
That's a name that listen. That's another couple names that on that list by Kerry Bell that haven't been mentioned.
There you go. Adam's got a lot of games. Solid dude too.
Justin Beavers. He's always right up there. So it is hard to narrow it down. But I just wanted to see what people said because it's the same thing with these. We must have left the door open. The amount of mosquitoes in this place tonight.
Y'all got the
big doors open over there.
Open.
I got the handgun though, so we ain't worried about nobody. We need to get them. We need to get that salt gun in here. Shoot. Oh, Josh would kill us around all these cameras, wouldn't he?
No, shooting them around the floor.
On the floor. So anyway,
they're size of Texas. They'll carry y'all.
They're big uns. So what I wanted to say with all this, and the reason I just asked the question was because like I said at the beginning, I see all these things: the best of Dawson, the best of this, the best of that. The best caterer, the best. We even had a best church this time. What signifies the best church?
Best fishing tackle store
Best
in Marble
fishing-
Hill, Georgia.
That's right.
Fish North Georgia.
Fish
So
North
we're
Georgia.
the only ones.
That's right. It's hard to lose
They
that.
don't ask how, they ask how many.
That's right.
There you go.
So, but that was my point. Is what constitutes the best angler in everybody's opinions, and so it's pretty interesting, and it's not really I think it's not so much a popularity contest in this, because we're throwing out names, even of people you might not like. You know what I'm saying? Now you might not like every name that's come out, every person that's come out, but they're good. They're there, so the popularity is a little bit different. So, you guys ain't got any, closing remarks on the night? I'll give you the last word and then I'll close it out. So Blake, start with you.
Yeah, we're going to find out how to do this tournament. So all these boys that keep complaining about live scope and all this, we're going to put graphs off the boat and we're going to go fishing and where y'all can quit complaining. And you know what? More than likely, it's going to be somebody who still wins money right now, still going to go over and win.
Probably. So
Probably.
we'll figure out how to do it. We'll call it the Blake Invitational.
It ain't the Blake invitation. It's the
Yeah, it's gonna be the Blake.
I don't know about
Fish
all that.
North Georgia,
fish-
no crybaby.
That's what I was going to say. It's the no crybaby tournament.
The No Crybaby Tournament.
Yeah.
The no electronic elite.
The
The no electronic, no crybaby and tournament.
Jamie Koza is the best on tuna.
Do it on chick. A lot of people.
Ron,
local
you trying to
guys ain't
get
gonna do
you trying to get you a Hobie? You trying to get you a Hobie saying something nice? What's Blake's Facebook?
that. Blake Buchanan. I'm all over the page.
Okay, there you go. You might have made a friend.
Yeah, good.
So there
I've
you
always
go.
got people adding me. I'm like, who is this? Okay.
I did too. I get
His
friend
real good
requests from that-
stuff's on Instagram.
That's
yeah,
right.
my good stuff's on Instagram. I don't really post anything on
Listen,
Facebook.
between that and I can't say that because we can't offend nobody. I'd just say I get a lot of friend requests from people that I know do not want to have anything to do with Fish North Georgia.
Are they
They're
Russian?
No,
They no, they're not Russian.
What's happening?
Some of them are tall blondes.
OnlyFans.
Only fans. Do a tournament like March Madness. See who is the best in single elimination.
Dude, that would be
I like
already-
a bracket fishing.
listen,
idea.
That would be fun.
I've already got some plans for a tournament like that when we were thinking about stuff for the elites. And the
Why
next
don't
year. So that has come up.
why
That would
wouldn't
be
we
awesome.
why wouldn't we start that like during the summertime and move it all the way down to the wintertime, do the winter or do the final in the winter?
Well, we might can do something like
Go
that.
ahead and get it started.
I think that would be pretty cool. Just a
Danny,
single
we already
tournament.
know you're a tournament director for one. You ain't got to run them all.
I don't need to run them all. I ain't got no time.
We can have
I
other-
run the
we can-
one,
we-
the
we-
one I have poorly.
We can have other people doing the weigh-ins and stuff like that.
Okay, well, we can do that. Did you notice he said weigh-ins, kayak guys? He said weigh-ins.
Oh,
I'm just
man.
letting you know he threw that out there.
There's going to be two separate things.
Down, boy.
My
Good.
heart.
Down,
Lord.
boy.
Shut
My heart
up.
is-
Shut up.
I'm right,
Cry,
right here.
baby,
You
cry.
forgot about me
Cry,
already.
baby, cry.
That's right. All right, Paul. Paul, your last word. Your last word for tonight.
I would say again, I'll take the opposite tack. Is being the best angler ain't about having the best toys. It ain't about winning a bunch of money. It ain't about winning contests. It's about going out there and being able to do it all. And I think being able to do it all on your terms.
That's awesome. That's
Well,
like
if
real
it-
enlightening.
If it come down to one of them dang,
I mean, it's good stuff.
like one of them bracket tournaments, I'd be like at basketball team at one that March Madness got the old lady in the wheelchair praying, Jesus said we're going to win this tournament. That'd be me. That'd be me
Oh.
right there, boys. I had a vision.
Cody
You know
Jones,
what?
I'm the
Hey, you
best
know what?
fisherman I see in the
I-
mirror.
I-
You might do that and your ass is going out in the,
I had
in the Elite Eight, though. You ain't going to get no farther.
I had a vision that Jesus said he's going to win the whole
Man,
thing.
don't
The Blue
don't get
Buds.
down on Sister.
Whatever her
Jean.
name is.
Listen.
There was a joke about that.
I know- I
There's
know
a
what
joke
you're
about
going-
that. We was eating dinner the other day, and somebody goes, "Man, Jesus has just been thinking about them all year," and said, "I like that team. They prayed a lot more than everybody else. That's who's
But
going
what
to
if he
win."
did? I go to church every Sunday.
I'd
What
go
if-
to church too.
a
I'm
winter
What
serious.
series
if,
on
what
those
if, in,
mountain
what
lakes
if,
would be
okay, let's,
awesome.
what if in God's providence that was supposed to be that way?
Well, that's how it's supposed to be, but I don't see God going, "Hey, Blake, I'm gonna let you win this tournament."
Well, that's because that's
why?
because you cuss too much.
That don't mean a thing. Boy, there's people out there shooting up dope that's still getting blessings every day. That don't mean nothing.
That's called common grace, son.
Well, I get a lot of common grace then.
Common grace ain't as good as electing grace. There's no difference. I'll teach you one day.
I know.
I'll teach you one day.
Okay.
So anyway, guys, all right. So we're gonna end this up. We will go with some of these great ideas that we've had today. I think we can make some of them come to fruition.
Like I said, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. I know I'm the best there is.
Problem is, he does it on his feet. Now, that's the problem.
Hey, I got to get rid of that fungus somehow.
Oh my God!
I'd rather wake up in the morning and fish.
Oh,
Excellence.
that-
It probably
wouldn't that
work a
be
little
great?
better for you.
Yeah. That'd be a
Fish
little
excellent.
better.
So
If I lived on the lake.
that's right. So guys, we appreciate you joining us for a couple hours to just shoot the bull about fishing like we do every Tuesday and Thursday night. We enjoy it. Hey, listen, no real answers to this, but you know the people, the cream always rises to the top, and
Cream of the crop.
the cream of the crop. So they're always there. These are names though that now
Oh yeah, the
What-
macho man.
what we got right here. Cream of the crop. That's right. What we got right here though is a pretty good list of people that we can from here on out start trying to see if we can get on the show for you, get them to talk about some of these things, and good conversation tonight, some good banner, pro for all kinds of things. So that's kind of what we wanted. We want to get people involved in the talk. It makes the show a lot easier when in the comments, you guys are participating and we can just feed off that. So guys, again, we appreciate you.
We love you.
We love you. Thursday night, if everything goes good, Jeremiah Giles will be back Thursday night.
Jeremiah.
And he's going to bring his swim bait stuff, but he's going to bring his rods and his setups a little more this time. So we're going to get a little more specific about the swim bait game.
We need to go pick some stuff up around
If
here.
we ain't chopping skipjack on the table, I don't want it.
I went home and told my wife, I said, man, I had a hell of a guest tonight. He was cutting up live bait right here on the table. So it was good. But anyway, guys, hey, listen, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go to it and subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Guys, we're trying to grow. Well, before this started, we were right at we were one short of 2,600. So we're still growing every month. We're adding every day. And it's
You can't be first, but you can be next.
That's it. Listen to you. My goodness. That's awesome. Woo! So you guys, again, we appreciate you guys. And hey, be at the store the rest of the week. Come see us, come shoot the bull, or, I'll put you in the FX rod. We can talk about some of these electric motors, stuff like that. If any of you guys got some good tournament bracket ideas and stuff like that, bring them on by the store. We're at 11262 Marble Hill, Georgia, 30148. Look it up, or you can give me a call at 678-283-6700, and I will give you directions personally. So
I do sit with my pee, and then I take a big dump beside your face.
oh my goodness. So anyway, we're out of here, guys.
I love you, Justin.
We're out of here. So God bless you if you show back up. So
Y'all have a good one, guys.
We'll see you.